Good evening and welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. I hope you brought your shirts. I hope you're in uniform tonight.
I hope you're
James Hannibal over Quirky QRP, thank you so much.
I hope you're wearing underwear at least with that shirt.
No, with a shirt like this, why would I?
And it better be clean underwear. You are commando, my brother. You are commando.
Oh my goodness. What would we do without James?
James, once again, you know what he says? Hold my beer. I'll be right back. We're literally.
Yep, absolutely.
Gets on that computer, goes to that program, zip it, this and that.
And it's already uploaded.
Boom.
Like before the stream was even over, he's already like, hey, it's already up there. You might as well go buy one. Then I tried to buy one and he goes, hey, it's already in the mail to you. And I was like, Jesus. Well, welcome everybody. I want to give a huge shout out. We have Ed, and Ed is going to kill me because I don't have Ed's call sign in front of me. AC1. I'm sorry, Ed. AC3IK. Got it. He's one of the latest additions to the Cigar Club in our member program. So thank you so much. All of the folks that you see in green there in the chat, those are our channel members. Thank you guys so much. And thanks to the guys who are creating the Tuesday night ham radio playlist. Mike and the gang, there was a good playlist today. I got to catch a little of it, but I had to come in here and hang out with you guys to get ready for the show. And I saw Freddie Mac's viewers were pushed over to the channel. So thank you guys for sending your viewers over to hang out with us. We really, really appreciate it. Yep. Okay, not going to breathe.
That's a hell of a push. All right. That's a hell of a push to come over here.
Steve's got some news to share.
Well, I'll get there. But shout out to Ham Radio Hobby, Pat, 14-month subscriber.
Wow. Oh. All right.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
You want to kick it off or?
So we have a couple others in there. We've got Ron says, damn my speakers. Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. I used to turn those tracks down, but I was like, you know what? I need to wake everybody up. We need some energy in the chat. And then we have Mr. Andrew says, unbelievable. I'm not working tonight. I can watch it live. Welcome to the live show. Yeah. Thanks for being here. We look forward to hanging out with you in the chat. Joe Brett's not here, so hopefully one of you guys are watching the chat for us. Yep. We had a testing session before the show tonight. We have a brand new tech, and we have a technician that upgraded to general.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So there we go. So
excellent.
Extra by Easter. And we told the applicant, it's like, hey, you got until Easter. Either that general or that extra. We told the general, you got till Easter to get the extra. So hopefully we'll see them again. And if you would like to join us, come over to the Clubhouse Discord channel. Links down there somewhere below the other Shane. And come join us over there. And got a great group of folks that are hooping and hollering and hoping all your success. I got to sit as a VE for the first time. That was kind of cool. Be on the other side of the camera. So thanks, Steve, for that. So
yeah, absolutely.
We have a testing session every month. Sometimes there's a pop-up session if we need to. We got plenty of people who can hop in and help get those tests done. But we have a scheduled for the Toads and for the Clubhouse Discords. We have scheduled sessions. Is it the last Wednesday of every month?
It's the fourth Wednesday of every month.
The fourth Wednesday of every month.
Yep.
So there we go.
Four-Wheel and Redneck, 14-month subscriber. Thank you for that.
Dang. We have a new member too.
And Bryant. Thank you.
Bryant, thank you so much, man. Thank you. Izzo, how's your week been, buddy?
All right. You know, I worked a double shift yesterday. Got some overtime. Tonight we have the Dr. Wise, the Grand Conjun cigar, all Nicaraguan.
Love that cigar.
It's a good cigar. I do it for the good times, and I smoke it for the not so good times. And when I got in tonight, I found out the news regarding Toby Keith, who passed away. He was battling cancer.
Yeah.
And I think, what do you say? First off, there isn't a person or a family I know who has not been affected by the big casino cancer. Big casino.
Our own family has.
Right.
Oh yeah.
We've got members in the chat right now.
In the chat. Correct. And the big casino was used in The Sopranos. And it's not to be taken lightly. It's a serious subject. Some cancers, if you know who you are, you catch it early based on your body, you can live a very productive life, and others unfortunately can't. Yes, Ron, I absolutely do. I absolutely agree with that. Toby Keith was a very interesting songwriter, entertainer, a singer for me because when I transitioned from cassettes to DVDs and everything, CDs, he was one of the first CDs that I started, and I just happened to find him. And I just really, really enjoyed his music. Then when I started getting more involved with who he was, always played it in my truck. And for you guys who are new here, who don't know me, I'm sort of an old guy, but I'm a young guy, and I like all kinds of music. And I will surprise you probably sometimes. It all depends on where we are, what's going on. We'll call it this scenario. For those of you who know me, it's all about the theme. Okay. But Toby Keith was one where I would pop that CD into the truck and just play it. If you go for a ride, whether it's for ice cream, or soda, whatever, you could just play it. And it just resonated in me. It was good times. He did a lot with our veterans. He did a lot with children, giving back to the community. And I truly feel that's how you measure who an individual is. I don't want to get into a preach about good people versus not so good people. But Toby Keith was just what he did, how I resonated listening to his music. Was just an incredible and everything. I know he was trying his best to take care of this thing. Unfortunately, it got him. It got him. I posted, if you look under my name tonight, guys, As Good As I Once Was is something that has resonated. Another one of his songs that a lot of times I feel like I'm still 25 years old, and I'm not.
But I still, as I once was.
But I still feel I could take a good punch, and I'm gonna throw one back at you. So look out, because But tonight's cigar is definitely for Mr. Toby Keith. So,
well, cool. And on that, my wife, love her to death. She posted something on Facebook for those of you that follow me there. And if you can, raise a glass with me tonight. Yeah, I went for the solo cup. To the man that taught us that we should have been cowboys, that you gave whiskey to men and beer to the horses. To the man that is as good as he once was, and to the man who's proud of the country he came from. To the man that taught everyone, you'll be sorry that you messed with the U.S. of A., who wanted a little less talk and a lot more action. We salute you, my friend.
Hear, hear. Amen.
We're going to get a copyright strike for that, but I'm going to take it.
I'm worth it. So worth
it. Thank you, Dana. Dana, thank you. Dana, that was awesome. So much. Dana she's all right, isn't she? She's all right.
She puts up with my crap.
So listen, I'm a firm believer when someone passes, yes, there are time for eulogies, there are time for serious thoughts, a tear. But I think it's also about a remembrance and a celebration of life. I know that term is used a lot, but I am a firm believer of celebrating someone's life and what that person was to you, and whether, again, an entertainer, the next door neighbor, a family member, it doesn't make a difference. So let's just remember what that individual did for us. And maybe those sometimes when we have to, maybe we get a little depressed or we forget. Go do something nice for somebody. Go do something good. Buy them a cup of coffee. It doesn't have to be something dramatic. A simple cup of coffee in the morning just to say hello to somebody or a stranger. So, anyway.
Steve-O. Over to you, buddy.
So, had a couple of things happen this week.
Uh-oh.
And
This is gonna be a long show.
So that's the old case off of my FT3D battery.
Yeah.
Broke the clip
did
off
you
of
do
it.
a Frank? Oh, he lost his antenna, not his battery.
No, I broke the clip out of it.
Okay.
How do you do
ripped clean
that?
through. I bent down to get something out of my truck and had it on my belt, and it
Mm.
popped.
It was the love handle. Blame your love handle.
I tried to keep it back a little further because
Tactical muffin top.
yeah,
Stop.
exactly. But
That
Scout.
totally, that's it.
shout out to Kevin. He already sent me a replacement.
Oh,
I
wow.
already have it, so I'll have the 3D with me down in Orlando this weekend.
Nice.
And took my wife to the chiropractor Monday, and when I came home,
This made me cry a little
a
bit.
few expletives came out of my mouth
Yeah.
because I looked up and I saw that.
It's not supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a whoops. It wasn't
No, it
a
wasn't.
whole.
That was
holy
Mother
shit.
Nature being a biatch, is what that was.
Well, I don't know what caused it, but there's like 10 bolts that hold that driven element right there. Or, well, actually, that's a director right there to this plate right here.
Oh, now I see what I'm looking at. That's
Yeah,
supposed to
it's
be like that. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's supposed to be
yes,
like-
yes. You
It's supposed
got
to
it.
look like that one on the left.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
But
Sorry,
every
it takes
one of those
me a
bolts
minute
lost the
once in a while.
nut. So,
So now it's like an arrow,
yeah.
and it was held on by that.
That's all that held it on.
Look at that solder.
Shout
job.
out for
My
that solder
solder
job. Yeah, no kidding.
So, but yeah, you see, every one of them
Sheared them all off.
didn't
Yeah.
shear 'em.
Oh,
The nuts just
Oh, the nuts
Worked
came
out.
off.
so.
You need to put some
busted
Loctite on that, son.
I
You lost your nuts.
dropped $50 at Lowe's on new hardware,
Some grade A
Nylox.
stainless or nylons. There you go.
Nylox.
See
Nylox.
what happens when you let me use your antenna?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes,
I
all your
run that thing
RF.
so much that the nuts
All
fall
your
off.
I made the nuts
all
drop.
your-
And that wasn't even the driven element. So I'm good. I bought enough for all of them.
Where's James? That's a new T-shirt. Shane will make your nuts drop.
Will make your nuts fall off your antenna.
Actually, let me grab another photo.
Oh goodness.
Because I was
Sorry,
lucky
everybody.
enough to
Yeah.
get it to turn. Let's see if I can zoom in on this.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
So it was actually sitting on the roof down here by my chimney.
Oh wow. Were you able to lower that thing down
I was.
without
I
damaging
initially-
anything?
I initially turned it the wrong way and it got stuck in the tree. But I let it sit for a minute and it actually decided to turn and straighten out. So I was able to rotate it back the other direction and lower the entire tower.
So Ham Till It Hurts says that the UV will damage those nuts. The nylon gets brittle when UV. He said use Stover
Okay.
and put Loctite on it
Well,
before you let Shane operate your radio again.
I was just
I-
gonna say
Well,
we
you
need
gotta
to put it
Shane-proof
before. We need to exactly. We need to do some of this before Shane does this. This is what we need to do.
and I may just
Loctite
take
on it,
and
that'll do it.
I may just take and get some UV paint, UV blocking paint, or even tape over all of the nuts and bolts
Oh, there you go.
to just kind of make an extra seal
Some
on it.
self-amalgamating tape.
I was thinking
That,
foil
that's
tape
what that's what
That's a hell of a word.
Cal likes to do.
yeah.
Self-amalgamating tape.
Oh, salmon. I don't want.
I don't know.
That's not
that
that's not
box.
salmonella tape.
Salmonella.
And those things are not light.
No.
I didn't realize when I took that one off how much it flexed that boom.
Really?
And I
Well, you
had
must
to
have
add
got
weight.
that. You must have got that antenna fixed by Saturday.
It's a part in the backyard right now.
Oh,
So
And this guy,
Yeah.
he has an agenda to get the hell out of South Carolina
Yeah.
and go south to Florida. So he's a busy man right now.
I need to make sure it's fixed by Thursday. So if Shane's available, he can hunt us in the Poda Park.
I can also. I have a pipeline. If I throw up the Invent Half Wave, I have a pipeline to Florida.
Okay.
That's just let me know what days. It won't be Thursday because I fly. Well, maybe because I fly back Thursday morning because I'm going to be in Orlando Wednesday from 7 a.m. until 5 a.m. Thursday morning, and I fly back to Dallas. It's a work trip, and they would not extend it. I tried, guys. I tried.
Dude, that's.
I mean,
Steve, you must have
a little inside.
Wait a minute, hang on, boss. I got to talk to you. Listen, I know you're boss. Listen, you're a reasonable man. I don't ask for much here at Southwest. Matter of fact, you don't even have to give me a Christmas bonus for 2024. You were so generous, but can we just talk about this?
Yep. We have don't we have a DXpedition getting ready to crank up too down off the coast of South America? Because I was hoping that it was going to be back operational by the time that DXpedition kicks off. It is. I'm looking, guys.
Costa Rica.
It's not. No, it's further south than Costa Rica. Someone in the chat's gonna know. I guarantee it. But yeah, they're doing like all modes. I can't remember where I saw it. It sucks, but they're doing all modes, and there's even some. They've got a hell of a station that they're setting up down there, so hopefully everybody gets them in the logs.
Wow.
And while Steve, if you want to finish up and pass to Shane, I'll find it.
Yep. I am going to try to get that done. This is a picture of the inside of our trailer. We finally got the monitors and computers mounted.
Nice.
Behind those monitors are actually the PCs.
Yep.
They are little squares mounted on the VESA mounts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I see some
There's one
telescoping masts.
Yep.
I spy a whole bunch of good stuff in that trailer.
Yeah, we've got a couple of masts. They're not the IntelliWorks mast yet, but they're a whole lot like them.
I see some power poles.
If you were on Sunday's stream, you know what I'm talking about there. Thank you, Gigaparts. But yeah, we got that done. So computers are in there. I'm actually getting a couple of mounts for the OHIS stuff. And the guy that printed them is donating them to my club.
What is that? What is OHIS for people like me?
Open Headset Interconnect Standard from Halibut Electronics.
Okay.
That didn't help me much.
That was last week's. That was last week's.
The contest console
unveiling.
The radio console, or the Radio Pro, User Pro, and contest console. And what the guy actually built, grab the right email here. Wrong one. Is a stack system where you have the bottom is the Radio Pro and the top's the contest console.
Interesting.
That gives it a nice tight little package that I can mount to the wall, and then those just slide in.
Right.
I don't know if I'll have both of them there. I got to check my cable links to make sure. But yeah, I saw that he posted that on the Groups IO for Halibut, and I was like, dude, I need 2 of those, and I will be glad to pay for them. He's like, I'm coming to Orlando. I'll just bring them to you.
Guys, you guys are going to be between patches and cozies and stickers and magnetic stuff, and you guys are going to be doing a lot of swapping down there. Holy cripes!
Do I dare show it?
Yeah, go ahead, tease everybody.
The Clubhouse logo.
So, nice. Guys, you better tackle Steve because they're going to go fast.
I only have one that's a good copy right now, and I don't know if I'll be able to rip off a bunch more this weekend or this week because I actually have to go to work tomorrow. Boo. Working from home is so much better.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to get up at 4 a.m. and go to the airport. So
Yeah, and then you can't stay a couple extra days in Orlando. I mean, even if you're paying for it.
I'm dying a little bit inside, honestly.
What happens if that plane has to get grounded, or let's just say it's inclement weather, or let's just say,
I mean, things do happen.
I'm talking for safety. Listen. We don't want you not having any problems, or anybody else for that matter.
I mean, I would love to stay. I tried, but I have some very large projects that I'm working on right now. So
Nice.
I have to come back and play adult. I was hoping that the expedition is going to be a POTA, but it's not.
I will try to get that antenna finished tomorrow. I do need to test to make sure it didn't damage any of those wires.
I'll be more than happy to test it for you.
I might just be down to a 3-element step IR with
that
hanging out there as a weight.
Way to go, Shane! You broke it.
Broke it good too.
Yeah,
broke his nuts.
I was 10 metering so hard the nuts fell off.
Maybe
that's how you swung your banana so hard, man.
Let me tell you something. That's how you ham harder. That's how you ham harder right there.
Yep.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. So JB, I'll kick it over to you. I'll let you kick it, Shane. I'm going to go eat a refill.
Hi, Joe Brett.
Hey,
welcome to the show.
Well, glad you would have me.
We were worried about you, man.
Well, you're a great guest.
Been sitting here for years, but I was still where I belonged. I was sitting here in chat. They recognize my importance.
Mm-hmm. Were you taking a poll? Did you forget that it was Tuesday night at 7:00? Or
you didn't read the Discord message that I sent to everybody?
I didn't.
I know exactly where. Listen, I got it. It's not an alibi.
Okay.
JB, I got you covered.
Right.
It's all legit. It's Shane. It's all legit.
Yeah. Y'all are my YouTube and my ham family. But when real family pops in that hadn't come check the mail in a couple of weeks, the oldest daughter came in.
Okay. I got you.
I set my butt in the chair and visited with her. So
absolutely.
My wife was like, "It's 7:00." I'm like, "Yeah," and I let them know that the daughter's
and they can
here,
wait,
and I'll be there.
Oh, wow!
Not like I'm going to say like between now and then. Anyway, they're still doing introductions probably.
Lo and behold,
for crying out loud, Izzo's still talking. We got time. Don't worry. By the time they get around to me.
And I got a message here that says,
"How you doing, man?"
I got a message here to check my DMs, and it looks like there is a Shane's Banana army that is starting to form because there is Frank.
Oh. Shane's Banana does not need an army.
Too late.
So Frank, thanks for supporting the cause, and I believe Izzo and Steve both have a Shane's Banana shirt on the way. So we're gonna have a Shane's Banana stream at some point. Just you wait.
I want to see Jim. I want to see Jim wear one. We're going to get one for
Jim wearing a Shane's Banana t-shirt.
Yeah.
Jim, where are you? I just saw Jim. He should be in the chat.
He is. I just saw him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Jim.
Sorry,
now that you mentioned Jim, I've got a segment that I need to, we all need to kind of question Jim about his whereabouts. So
I always question Jim.
He says it's not happening. Guess what? It will happen. We are all brothers and we can wear it proud, Jim. Just remember that.
We can all support Shane's Banana.
Mm-hmm. Can you work Shane's Banana split?
How
to ham.
You have to turn the rid on a little bit.
Yeah, you got to turn the rid on. Make sure your antenna's pointed that way.
Oh, Lord.
I would love to see about 30 of those T-shirts at Hamcation.
Well, that will cause confusion.
Absolutely.
Glorious.
Sorry, Joe Brett, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, it's okay. It wasn't officially a Joe Brett segment.
Oh, okay.
I have to get that pulled up. We'll wait for the second hour.
All right. We'll go over to Shane here, and then I've got another little announcement. But go ahead, Shane. How are you, man? It's been a minute. We ain't seen you in a month of Sundays, man.
I'm serious, man. I got nervous. I texted him. Wait, hold on. I texted him.
He did actually,
and I'm like, dude, listen. I know stuff happens, work/family, but I just wanted to make even if he couldn't make it tonight, I just wanted to make sure he was okay. I didn't know if he was being snowed in. I don't know if Shaq and Greg had him so damn drunk.
Had him kidnapped.
Right. Kidnaps. He was on some reservation thinking he's walking around, or they dropped him off in Canada, spun him around 5 times and said, "Go figure it out."
Sleeping in the woods.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'm not snowed in. It's been a El Nino year here, which means no snow. So I've been taking advantage of that and doing a little bit of summits on the air where it's a little easier hiking and get that bonus points. And Steve, you have a backup antenna, or I heard somebody that sounded like you with a similar call sign, and I was calling them "Hey Steve" when I made contact on the last show.
That was me. That was
all right. Good.
Came apart. So
yeah, because just like we were talking earlier, sometimes you get the call signs and you hear the voice and you just put one. You have to hear all characters. You just know who it is. And I heard Steve, heard the KO4A. I'm like, oh, that's Steve. And
I know that guy.
I know that guy. Yeah,
that guy.
But now when I was watching that, his antennas down, I'm like, did I hear somebody that sounded like Steve? That's sort of a KO4. And I'm going, hey, Steve, thanks for the contact, bud. And he's like, okay, whatever.
Yep, nope, that was me.
Yeah, this weekend I did. You can't even really call it a POTA. I didn't even film, or a SOTA. I didn't even film a big video on it, because when you think Summits on the Air activations on YouTube, you think, Jerry HQD, Red Summit, all those guys out on the West Coast, Adam and everybody with these tremendously challenging hikes and these rugged terrain and these awesome views where you see for miles. Here in Wisconsin, you go up a small hill and you see trees. So
that's what to say. Y'all have the trees.
Yeah, I always joke that Wisconsin sort of is put on a slight incline, but the one I did this weekend, the summit proper is on private property and it's gated, but a highway goes right through the activation zone. So what people do will pull off and at the gate of the gated property and activate from there. It's owned by a lumber company, and the first time I went there, I just pulled off. I was driving my little Corolla at the time. I pulled off. I'm in their parking lot by the gate, basically. And the property manager came by and stopped and asked if I was all right and what I'm doing. And I'm like, hey, I can move. I already had my activation. I don't want to block your gate or anything. He's like, oh, nobody's doing anything. And we talked a little bit. And I gave him my, elevator speech on Summits on the Air and ham radio. And he was fascinated. He's like, let me open up the gate for you. And he goes, and told me where
now's the drive up.
Yeah. And it told me where the benchmark is. And he looked at my car and he goes, you're not going to make it down that logging road. Let me give you a ride. I'm like, well, you open the gate. That's good enough. I'll hike up, spirit of Summits on the Air. Well, this time, the big mistake of that is I never got the guy's contact information. So this time I went down there last weekend. So I literally set up in the ditch of a highway and did a Summits on the Air. And I think it's probably the first time you'll ever hear anybody in a Summits on the Air activation going back and forth going, hang on a second, a semi just drove by. Can you repeat your call sign again? So that was my weekend. Not much during the week. My work has gone crazy, and that's why I've kind of disappeared a lot from the chats, from all the live streams and stuff. It's just madness, but it's a fun madness. But yeah, that's about my week in general.
Well, that's when I was out in San Diego, met up with Adam. And he's like, yeah, we can go do an easy summit. I was like, yeah, what is it, like a 6-pointer? He goes, it's a 7, but it's a drive up. Good God, man. I didn't bring hiking gear,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I couldn't talk him out of letting me get out of work early that Thursday to go.
See, I'm not the only one.
Because I was going to try it.
Speaking of Adam, I finally built it.
I saw.
Wow. Oh, nice.
That one will definitely pull your radio off the tailgate.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can't really see it really well, but I actually soldered and everything.
Nice and clean.
And
That's
I
very
like
clean.
how you did the quick disconnect so it doesn't pull the radio.
Yeah,
off.
I make it bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
I make it bigger.
Oh,
Show
here,
everybody.
big him.
Yeah, no, seriously, make them bigger.
Solo that fool. There you go.
Look at that. Nice, clean job.
Yeah. That dog.
One thing I forgot to do though is the nut for the S239 is a little loose. So I'm going to try to figure out if I've got a little tiny wrench that I can slip up in there too. But yeah,
there's a theme tonight.
I know, right? But yeah, I decided to go with a power pole on that, and I went with a 56-1.
Okay.
Can you slip in? Not that it's going to. Let's face it, a thin wrench is always best. But I'm thinking along those pliers, just enough to grab it, just enough to,
And I got my 20.
Yep, Joe,
my
you
33 feet. What?
In the chat.
Oh goodness.
Izzo asked if you could slip in.
If I could what?
Slip in.
What did I ask?
We're 30 minutes in. It's okay.
I don't know. I show
So
up.
I did a project.
Banana and slipping in. And
Did I
taking
do that?
The show off the rails, Joe.
Did I do that?
Yep.
Well, look, y'all didn't leave a memo that we was being serious tonight. I'm sorry.
Listen, we've talked so much radio the last month and a half.
We have.
That's why I said maybe just some rag chew. But look at this, we're already going back to radio.
Let's invite Scout. He doesn't know shit about radio. I get it.
No, we were going to invite Scout so that Scout could teach us something about radio, like antenna retrieval.
That's right.
Throw it up and hope it comes back down.
You can wish.
Is it still up there?
Oh, I forgot.
No, the squirrels brought it down.
Hold on here.
Uh-oh.
What do you got? Hang on.
Well, I lost
He's looking for it.
I got a gift.
Uh-oh. Oh, hang on.
That's right. I saw this.
Let me solo him again.
Isn't that so nice? That came out real. Whoever did that for you was very thoughtful. They did a nice job.
It came from. There we go. So thank you so much. I didn't ask the person if they wanted their name out there. So if you're out there watching tonight, thank you so much. If you want to say, hey, it was me, it's up to you. But thank you so much. This is awesome. So this is actually sitting over here with my other stack of stuff.
That came from, what's the website that does those?
Ham Crazy.
Was it Ham Crazy?
I think it was Ham Crazy, yeah.
Okay. I was looking for the QSL card for the guy that we need to get together and get him to make our QSL cards.
Oh, yeah,
see him in Orlando.
Yeah, that came out great. And thank you for sending that to me. That was cool. Because he sent me a message in Discord. He's like, hey, I got something I'm sending your way. And I was like, is it a random bag of dicks or what?
No, that's you sending those.
That true. And then that showed up. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Got a little
teary-eyed
holder that kind of keeps it propped up. It's really cool. It's very thoughtful. I appreciate it.
I was gonna say mine's mounted right there on the wall, but mine's got a white background instead
Mine
of
will
black.
get that eventually.
I like that black. That looks slick.
I really like it when you have the opportunity of seeing what other guys have done in their shacks. Not so much with radio placement, this and that, but we'll call it the gadgets and the gadgets and the stuff that has some sentimental stuff, junk, but it also has some what's that? I just lost the word. Hang on, let me go get it. Sentimental. Thank you.
Yeah.
That whole sentimental of value to you, and it just makes the shack feel warmer. It's sort of like a confidence boosting, and it doesn't always have to be about the amplifier. It could be some little trinket that you got or whatever. Stuff like that's always cool.
Yeah, I have a shelf of things that people have sent to me and gifts that I've gotten. This is another good one. And we need to find somebody that could do these for us, but I got one of they put my logo on the light. That's kind of cool. Some of our trusty Clubhouse members also got lights of their own, and I kind of see something over Scout's shoulder there.
Oh, I spy, Waldo.
It's not red.
Now,
I promise that.
Does that change to red when it's time to cut it off?
It's time to cut it off.
I haven't messed around with it to see if I can program it in with the rest of the stuff, but yeah, the blue lights above me will turn red when it's time.
I was gonna say,
It's red alert.
Are those RF or those IR? Do you know?
I plugged it in and
It's got
Probably
colors.
IR.
hit the button
Well-
until it turned blue.
I've got one as well that I purchased before the Clubhouse, back when there was a POTA one going around on Facebook. So I snagged that one, and it's supposed to be IR controlled. Yeah, it changes colors with RF.
When Steve's
So
transmit,
every time Shane,
every time I key up,
Shane-
the oven goes off and the light changes color.
That's why it's not plugged in.
it's Polaroid on that.
Exactly.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the European ham radio show that's on Sundays. Bob on there, who's not his real name is unpronounceable.
We got more people with not real names.
Yep. But he was telling the story that the other weekend he was doing a Parks on the Air from the beach, and a young kid came up by him with a very cheap metal detector. And he noticed that when he keyed up on 40, the kid's metal detector would go off.
That kid must have thought he had found a gold pile.
Yeah, holes everywhere.
I wonder how many times he dug a hole every time that went off, and it was just somebody calling CQ.
Donald Lewis is no. Why are you digging holes in the backyard?
He looked across there, there's 35
it happened
holes.
while he was, like a lot of us would get set up and do a little hunting just to see what's going on, make sure you get everything right before he started calling CQ. But yeah, good thing he wasn't calling CQ. That thing would just go blow up on him.
Kid would have been digging for days.
Yep. But he said he was sitting
Thinking
there
he found a ship.
I'm
Yes.
digging in China.
Yep, there's a
Jody's got it
part
right.
on CQ. He threw his call sign out, and the kid stopped and went like that. And then he threw his call sign out again. The kid stopped. And
See, if I ever noticed that, I would just totally just start messing with the kid.
I
Every time he started
absolutely-
walking, I just key up. Or just get you a paddle or something. Just hit a dit or something every time.
Yeah, exactly. Audio.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
oh,
You know, when I was down at Galveston with him, toward the end of the day, I got the electric scooter out and was riding it around, and I noticed when I went through the pavilion, I heard Tank's radio. I was like, I let off the throttle and hit it again, and I was like, oh yeah, that's me. So
There you go.
I'm like, hey, how's it going over there?
Wow.
Getting that
Frank's
contact?
like, I
You're
can't hear
5'3".
you. I can't hear you. Do it again. It's like,
Again.
Yeah, so I try to put it in low gear when I go by the pavilion. So.
I'd like to go down there sometime when it's A, not windy, and B, not 40 degrees.
It's freaking Galveston. It's always windy.
Yeah. Well,
Put
I mean,
an
you're
antenna
right
on
there
a
at the
kite
beach,
and
you know.
activate the park.
It was really windy. And the wind was not coming from ocean. It was coming from mainland out to the ocean.
Again, put an antenna on a kite and activate the stupid park. Call it done.
Yeah, but then the way the pavilions are set up, you just got this. Every time you key up, all you're going to hear is wind. We had to hang a tarp.
I was just
all
gonna
that
say,
matters.
for the looks of it, they're enclosed on two sides and open through the middle. So if
Yeah.
the wind's wrong, it just turns into a wind tunnel, I suppose.
The wind's always wrong because the
wind's
open
always
side's
wrong.
facing the ocean.
Yep.
See, Mike's bragging down there. Mike says, you hit the button here. It wasn't windy on Monday when I went back. 60s and sunny.
there you go, Mike. Nice.
Rub it in. Rub it in.
Timing and location.
I was gonna say
That's right.
Mike logged in
Never
with his
fails.
other account tonight.
I was trying to chase a guy today from the Huntsville park there in in Texas. He was on 20. I was trying to chase him. So
was it Mike or somebody else?
No, it was somebody else.
Oh,
I had
trying to get.
I had like
Mike's,
45 minutes. I had 45 minutes, so I was all over. I was trying 10 all of a sudden. It just died. It died. I'm like, darn it. Whatever. So between 40 and 20, I was just fooling around here at the house. But I think I made about 10 contacts. You know, hunting. You know, it's always fun.
Are any of you getting a lot of tropple on 2 meters? We have a pretty popular repeater in the cities here, and a guy was talking to me this weekend, and using the UP of Michigan, which was like 130 miles from me. So he used about 200-mile shot to that repeater, coming in full quieting.
Wow.
It was awesome.
I've yet to experience tropo. That'd be kind of cool.
Being on the coastline.
Post pictures of it on.
I was gonna say I was able to hit it one day on one of the repeaters here. Of course, that repeater's up at 900 feet, so on the coast makes a difference.
Yeah,
but I was talking to a guy in Atlanta, Georgia, and he was coming in on our repeater because he's like, "Yeah, ours is down for maintenance," and I heard yours ID. I'm like, "No way." It was all tropo though.
I used to run when this is back in the old days, back in the 90s. So our local repeater, I would put it in two or three other memories with the different PLs. So instead of just quickly trying to go into settings, change the PL, this and that, I had it already there. So when that band was open, I just go over to the other one, and it was just so cool. And then obviously you're not keying up your local repeater, you're keying up the repeater like for me in New York or New Jersey. Every once in a while, there's one up in Massachusetts, and it's always fun. It's always fun to work a distant repeater. Yeah,
New Jersey from you is what, 30 minutes?
No,
that's just
by balloon.
But direct line of sight.
Direct line of sight. I'm about 130 miles direct line of sight. I'm about 130 miles to the north by northeast of New York City. New Jersey in a beer snack land, it's a little further south, but now you're going over more water. So when that tropo opens up, when that opens up, as a kid, I remember listening on shortwave and the old AM Baltimore Orioles. All of a sudden, I'm spinning listening to the New York Yankees. All of a sudden, you start spinning the dial. And I'm listening to a ball game. I'm like, and this is before the internet, so you don't know. I had to go find the newspaper to figure out where the ball game was, and because they're mentioning players' names that I don't even know. Again, this is like 1974, 1975. Sure enough, Baltimore Orioles, and it's loud and clear, like how we're all talking now.
That's cool.
It's great.
Was that before they made the AM stations turn down their power after a certain time of day?
Absolutely. So when you were here, well, they still do that. They still they still have. So if you're hearing them loud and clear on reduced power, this phenomenon that has been identified is so powerful.
So I need to tune up the Jacksonville AM stations. Let's see how it's coming in.
Right.
There you go. Well, as a kid,
when I was flying back in the day, let's say back in the day, it hadn't been that long ago, but we used to take the ADF and tune it to a local AM radio station.
Absolutely.
One, it points you back the direction you're supposed to be going, but two, it gives you something to listen to when
that's
you're in the middle of the night. There's nothing going on.
Yep.
Because those receivers were all AM. So
it was either last week's show or the week before. I was reminiscing in my head because we were talking about the old TV stations. This is all way before cable, all before digital stations. For all you youngins out there. And again, we had a Yagi pointed towards New York City, so we picked up some local stuff, but we picked up some New York stuff. But it was always snowy. It was, I don't care how much of that fine tuning you did, this and that, you played around. But when the band was opening, all of a sudden, the New York City channels would just come in so incredibly. And there was a station in New Jersey, WWOR. It was Channel 9, local Channel 9. Secaucus, I think, New Jersey or something like that. And they used to, them and WNEW, which I think was on top of the the Empire State Building, I think, back in the day.
Sure.
I remember on Saturday nights watching the live wrestling from Madison Square Garden.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
And so any of you old wrestling, this is way before Piper and Hulk.
Mhm.
I'm talking the Fabulous Moolah. They had, is it okay to say midget wrestling? They had midget wrestling going on, and it was just incredible.
Yep.
Incredible stuff. That's when wrestling was, wrestling.
That was fun. Yep. That was back in the territory days, like around here as at that when I was age, it was AWA here, and it was like Nick Bockwinkel and Mad Dog Vershawn and the Crusher and stuff like that. That was fun. But
We had the Sportatorium in Dallas. We had the
Yeah.
Von Erichs and all those
Oh yeah,
guys.
oh yeah.
but you
Chief
bring
J
up the
Strongbow.
Yep. We bring up the antenna rotor. I remember it was last week you guys were talking about that, and it brought me back with TV antennas. Where I live, all the TV stations come out of the Twin Cities, which is hour and a half south of me. So nobody up here has a rotor because you just aim your antenna
Pointing towards the
Right.
Twin Cities.
Right.
Yeah.
Twin Cities and away you go. I remember when I was a kid, I was at my cousin's house, who was down in the middle of the metro area, and it was when the kid was the remote control, because there was no remote controls, and Dad says,
Right.
You
Turn it
were.
from-
That's right.
turn it to channel 4. And he goes, okay, I got to rotate the antenna. And I'm like, what do you mean rotate the antenna? Well, WCCO's over there, and we're watching Care 11, and that's over there. And I'm like, that was the first time I knew that TV antennas were directional. I just thought
Yeah.
they're this up.
That when you think about it, that was your earliest RF learning about antennas of reflectors and directors.
Yeah.
When you think about it, and Jody, Jody made a funny comment in the chat. No, there was no such thing as a la-di-da rotor. Guess what? It was fixed. We didn't have no money. There was just no money for us. We were lucky to have what we had, and I think it was only maybe about 20 feet off the off the roof. And of course, depending on how your house was in your area, you could have been pointing it at a mountain or a ridge, but you still wanted to get to that signal to your big metropolitan city, where again, just like Scout just said, where all your TV stations were, because that's where they all population based.
Lindsay
Yeah,
says they had an 18-inch pipe wrench for the rotator.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I've heard of that.
Yep.
I've heard of that.
You know how many people right now, like me, is going, freaking pipe wrench? That would have been great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't say.
Wayne says the French fries were great at the Sportatorium. It closed in 98 or 99, I think. So I think I only went to one or two events.
So what was it
know,
only sports? Was it only sports, or did they do all types of forums? Music? Did they do?
Now, let's not change subject yet, but you can answer that question.
No,
I gotta
I got to look it up because I don't remember.
But you're talking about turning the antenna by hand. When I was in the process of putting my tower up, very impatient, and hadn't got the top section ready yet, but I had my Yagi ready. So I didn't have my rotor on or nothing, but I went ahead and climbed that baby up. I think I had it 30 feet at the time, and because the top section made it right at 40. But so what I done, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to be able to turn this thing. So the orange flagging tape hunters use, tying the branches and stuff. I had a whole roll of that stuff that I don't go hunting often, and because I got other stuff to do. So tie it to the end of the Yagi, or the beam.
Yeah, same here.
Put
Same
it up
here.
there, drop the roll all the way to the ground, and when I needed to turn it, I just pulled on that tape. Worked out pretty good.
I put mine on the back reflector, so I knew it was the back of the beam. And in the year we had COVID for doing field day, I got this 2-element Cushcraft 6-meter beam. Picked it up at a flea market about 3 or 4 years prior to what we know as COVID. Guy did not. He was selling it for $100. You walk around, there goes the slash mark, $80. At the end of the day, at 2:00 in the afternoon, it was like down to four. It's down to 40.
Yep.
And I just said to the guy, "Hey, listen, I got $20." He says, "Take it, shut up, and get the hell out of here."
I
built
said
it
it 1,000 times. Hamfest, flea market, gun show, whatever it is.
Yep.
The first hour and the last hour are the best times to walk
I
around.
agree. Correct.
You find the deals, and then you don't know how to leave with that, do you? I got $20. Here you go. Yeah.
Well, I pulled out the instructions, and they were not in English. So for a guy like me who doesn't read instructions, and let's face it, we're guys, we like pictures, right? I'm gonna put this thing together, but all of a sudden I had a whole bunch of parts that I think I still needed, but I ended up getting. So I used it for that field day. You know what I did, guys? I took cinder blocks that had the hole in it, and all I cared about was getting it so it wouldn't fall over. But I wanted it to spin nice and easy, and I would just walk up to it and just kind of like playing around. I spent maybe about an hour on 6 meters, which I haven't done in like a long time. And I forgot 6 meters is such an incredible, fun band to work. And I still forget about it because we all have it on so many of our radios. If you have an ICOM a 7300, hello, you got 6 meters. You know, and it's such a great band. So,
Truck and Ham Richard, you have a good evening, man.
He's got to leave.
Said he's got to bail out.
All right, brother. Motor safe.
Hey,
see you in Orlando.
Before we get too far away from y'all's AM talk and band talk, you know, like propagation and hearing AM stations all over the place, I'm gonna go ahead. I noticed I pinged Jim again. He's a hit and run kind of guy, evidently, because a lot of times I'll ping him after a few minutes and he don't respond. So, you know, he's probably working on something else. But so we'll make our own decisions. But I can tell you one AM signal that people are not hearing that I seen prior to the show, and it just happens to be kind of halfway, kind of ish between me and Jim. So I know I don't have it. My tower's only 40 feet. But WJLX in Jasper, Alabama is missing a 200-foot tower for their AM transmitter.
How do you miss a 200-foot tower?
What?
That's what he
Who
said.
Who steals a 200-foot tower?
So
that's what they'd like to know.
Right.
Oh my
so
God.
I'm reading the news article. It's published in alabama.com. So it's legit. And the owner was contacted by the guy that does the land maintenance. And this is the phone conversation here. He said, hey Brett, we're down here to do their mowing and stuff, right?
Joe, can you imagine that phone call? Can you imagine that phone call?
He's like, hey, we're down here and the tower's gone. Guy replies, tower's gone. He said, yeah, tower's gone. The landscaper assured Elmore, the owner, that he had walked the property entirely and the massive steel tower was nowhere to be found. The owner replied, it's a 200-foot tower. You would see it somewhere if it was just laying around. So not only was the tower gone, but the transmitter was stolen as well.
Oh, my God.
And I would imagine this is only an editorial stock photo. I'm going to say that this transmitter was probably more like on a run 45 or something like that. Yeah. Maybe even a run 25 or something. But yeah, so if Jim starts bragging about his flex and 200-foot tower.
He finally put that step IR at 200 feet.
That's right there.
But when I seen that, I'm like, could you imagine coming home having, you know, your big tower and it's just gone? There's no sign of it anywhere. Because even in the article, when he said he went to Jasper Police Department to make a report, they're like, are you serious?
Someone stole my 200-foot tower.
But Joe, this is
Joe. Let's do a little police work. This was not a one-man job. Jim didn't do it on his own.
That was an army.
Was Sam involved? He's right down the road.
Sam is a good culprit. Yeah, that's a good possibility. He likes to stir up some trouble.
I'm thinking though, who has to make the phone call? Do you? That's one of those things of who has more seniority, who has to make the phone call.
Yeah,
that's and who's not. And like, it's like, can you imagine this shit? Hey, Shane,
Joe, what was their call sign again?
WJLX, Whiskey Juliet Lima X-Ray. They have an FM site on the other side of town and the AM site that was on that side of town.
So from a detective standpoint, we know you're going to keep your eyes open at all the scrap dealers because that's where it's going to go.
I do that
How
anyway.
much copper was in that deck of thing?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, hey man, don't scrap that tower, dude. What you want for it?
Right? How much you want for it?
I got $20.
I'll make you. I'll make
our
you
buyback program.
Right.
We don't
Right.
ask you where. We don't ask you where it came from.
Listen.
I
I'm
wonder
going to
if you
make
took
you.
that to a pawn shop. Hey, I got this tower outside.
Can you imagine Joe Brett? Listen, hey guys, listen. I know it's probably your first time. So we have this program here in Mississippi. You're just going to walk away and you're just going to just drive down the road and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just go. And then Joe's going to be calling, hey, Clubhouse, get the hell over here and get this shit on the trailer.
Yeah.
George asked, what was the date of that article?
The date on that article is published February the 6th of 2024.
Wow.
Which is today.
Yep.
And that was at 11:01 a.m. Central Time since it was in Alabama.
Can you imagine if that was still transmitting when some idiot decided to take an AM tower off?
Have you seen the video?
Oh they're arcing across it, and you can hear the broadcast through the arc.
Broadcast in the arc. Yes.
But I was reading the comments on this article, and I had to kind of agree. I'm like, I was kind of thinking that in the back of my head. So the guy said, in his defense, I guess, that it's surrounded by 50 acres of heavy vegetation, trees and stuff, wooded area, and that it was not easily seen from the road and everything, but there was a business that is visible from the site. So he's hoping that there's maybe something on surveillance or a worker saw a tower fall or something. But it didn't elaborate on like whether there was guide wires left or nothing like that. There was a box fan, a chair, and like one other small item left in the hut that the transmitter used to be in. And yes, all the copper lines and stuff was gone, but and the tower itself. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, this guy's talking about how much it's going to cost to rebuild this site. Maybe this is time for you to evaluate cost versus return of investment. Because now I'm curious, how long was this off the air and nobody reported the AM station off the air? So,
or
I'd like to know how much meth you can buy with the 200-foot tower.
Man, I thought that was fake for when I first seen it, and I was like,
I saw that this morning when I was getting ready.
Their actual tower.
Oh, that would be cool for perspective because I know they put a way too big tower on that editorial picture.
Can you imagine the guys like a couple days before? They're drinking all that grain alcohol, tequila, whatever. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if we steal the tower? Or that whole conversation. Nah, we can't do it. Sure we can. It's real simple. You know how guys think things up.
It has to be somebody that knows a thing or two about a thing or two, because I don't see how you can, just one person or two or three can take down a 200-foot tower in one night without making a lot of noise.
We know how. Well, first off, we know how they go up. It's a crane. You need the crane. You need a crane. You're not doing that with a gin pole. You're not doing that with no gin pole.
That's how they took one down here in town.
Yeah,
I know the guy that took it down.
Was it a Roan 45 or something?
Yep.
All right. Okay, I'll give you that.
45 at 180 feet.
At night too, probably. At night.
No, he did it during the day. But he said he prefers the bolts to be rusted. That way he can just snap them off and knock them out. He didn't have to sit there and unscrew them.
Right.
Well, it could be a couple of guys with cordless sawzalls and just go up there and you cut off about 5 feet at a time. But that would take.
And the hard line, right? And the hard line.
That was a multi-day deal. That wasn't that wasn't a gun and run.
No, that took some time.
It took my guys here. I think it took them 3 days.
How about when you get caught? How does your lawyer go to court?
How do you defend that?
How do you defend that? Your Honor, my clients were. It really didn't happen like how it unfolded, but they
just imagine the district or the public attorney's office where they go, Here's your workload for today. You accused of stealing a what?
Give it. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Scout, give it to the new guy. Let him defend them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
public defender.
Yeah.
Well, here you go, son. Here's your first case.
Yeah, this will be good experience for you.
Yeah, I'd like to know where that tower was located.
Yeah.
Sorry for my manners. Let me reference this. I had to shorten the link for the chat character limit, but there's a link for the article that I was showing you in case anybody wants to look at it with their own eyes. But yeah, it's quite a feat. Like, do you actually arrest the people when you find out who done it, or do you like put them on the news?
After you shake their hand,
show their accomplishments. Like
after you shake their hand,
if anybody's looking for
accomplishment, but
well, hearing the stories from my friends and family of the local sheriff department and stuff, you hear some of the stuff, and you just go, if they put that much effort and ingenuity into a legitimate job, they would be well off
all the time, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If they put that energy into being a YouTuber, within a week they'd have the little platinum play button behind them.
Oh, easy.
I thought I heard my phone go off. So
no, I heard was a super chat from Vern.
Oh, look at that! Somebody want to grab that?
So, like, he's right. These people obviously wasn't trying to take the tower down in a safe manner, right? Because in a safe, controlled manner, that would take a few days. Yeah, you cut it down, let it fall, but still, you got to cut that thing up and haul it out.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. My biggest thing is if you drop a 200-foot
thank you for the
tower like a redwood, it's going to make a hell of a lot of noise. You think you get everybody in the neighborhood around? So,
but, I mean, if they said
now Jim shows back.
Oh, he's back.
But
holy
thank
cow!
You for the gifted subs there,
or
membership.
You give Jim a yellow T-shirt and see what he gives back. That's all I'm gonna say. See?
We got Pamela Crabtree got one of those gifted subs. Ryan K5TAR got one of the gifted subs. George KC1TQF and Ham Till It Hurts got a gifted sub.
Don't forget the
gifted membership.
Thank you, Jim, for my gifted membership to the
Exactly. Everybody thank Jim for that.
Jim is a giver. He is. He'll give you a lot. He absolutely will.
And now I feel like
even if you don't ask for it.
He's got me. I owe him. He's like, you remember that membership to your own show that
I gifted you? Joe, he just raised the bar with you now. You got to go down to their show.
Yeah.
And do something nice on their show.
Yeah, see, now and see that's the whole dilemma because he's asked me like 5 times now and I've always had something coming up and I'm like, if I was you, I would think it was personal by this point.
Like how many times you got to wash your hair, Joe?
For real.
He did say he wants a refund on that membership, so
I got to go. I'm sorry for that. I'm going to have to go turn that feature off to allow me to be selected for that. I just turned it on one day to wonder, would it really happen?
Yep.
So thanks.
Guess what? It does.
Well, you got a gifted sub to your own stream?
Yeah.
Now I get the perks. I've been waiting forever.
Yeah, now you get the little icon.
Except he's got the wrench, so you don't see the icon.
That's true. So I guess we want to go back to the sportatorium. I have a story I can
go for it.
Sure.
So this is Southwest Airlines stuff again. When our original CEO Herb Keller was having quite the antics in Texas, and he wanted to change the slogan. He wanted to change the slogan of Southwest Airlines to just plain smart. Well, somebody owned that already, and he didn't know that. So they came up with the guy didn't want to turn it over, and Herb, was kind of persistent. So he got a letter from this guy that said that he would arm wrestle him for the rights to use that.
Nice! I like that.
Smart. So this is a picture of our CEO Herb.
Nice.
At the Sportatorium. They call it the Malice in Dallas. For the use of the just plain smart deal. So yeah,
Nice.
in the middle of the sportatorium, our founder was arm wrestling. We were at one time one of the largest liquor distributors in Texas because we were giving away, if you bought a business, I believe it was a business ticket, or I can't remember what it was back then, but if you bought one of those, you got a free bottle of whiskey.
Oh wow!
To take with you. Yeah.
Look at
They
the
don't do
chair in
that
the corner. Look at the
nowadays.
look at the chair
Oh
in the
yeah,
corner.
that was her. That was Herb's. Herb's
That's
chair.
great. I love it.
So it was a lot of fun. So
N1JUR, 10 gifted subs. Thank you.
Holy-
Eric, what is with that New England, New Hampshire money? You giving that stuff away?
right?
They get snow up there, and what did you cash in all that snow? Holy Christ!
Hey.
Good group up there. I said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. Good group. Good group.
Well, we appreciate it, guys. And I'm trying to spin over here and see who was the receiver of those. We got
Sean Hummel, 45,
yep.
Ken Roberts,
Mike
Smith, Abraham Clark,
Pastor
Tracy Kennedy, James Hannibal, Mr.
Hey-o.
QRP,
Pastor.
N1 SAW, the Happy
That's gonna
Ham,
throw up.
and Reed, AB8AS.
Why don't we explain who's the best
Joe.
explainer of what happens when you get gifted? Why don't we explain that when you get a gift like that? What happens?
That's a good idea, Izzo.
Because I don't know. Because I have no idea.
Well, I've got one extra banner on my chat now that says your gift from FEP Labs Radio.
So
Just
what
covering
that is that is a gift to the, I believe it's the second tier of the of our Clubhouse memberships, and it is good for a month. And at the end of that month, if you would like to renew that subscription, you can, or you can let it expire. But that is good. That is a bulk one-time purchase of 5 memberships that the system will randomly give out, and then for the people who receive those memberships, if they wish to continue them, they can. If not, they just simply will drop off.
And since let me share this with the chat. Since it's been said how of a stat guy that Shane is, the first time we started experiencing gifted memberships and stuff by gracious viewers, the month that people was not renewing their memberships, the stats started showing all these people canceling. He's like, what do we do, man?
Oh my God, who did me bad?
Izzo, stop saying those bad words.
Right?
Hey, man, their gift membership just ran out. It's okay. Free.
I have to say, and Shane, I got to give you props. We're an hour and 10 minutes in, and you haven't mentioned how many people are watching.
I purposely didn't. I didn't want to get yelled at by the 8.
I love that yellow, by the way, man.
Do it.
It's good on you.
Tell everybody.
I will say,
it just dropped because you didn't do it.
We opened the show with 95, and about 3 minutes in, we were over 100. And we've been between 130 to 150 the entire night. So thank you, guys.
We were 133. You didn't mention it. Now just went for 132.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm trying to find
come back,
Ape.
And if Ape wants to be mad at somebody, he can be mad at me. He'll see me this weekend. It's fine.
That's
That's
true.
what I'm doing.
Oh, is he gonna be down there?
All 4 of them are going to be down there.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, that's right, because they gave me the keys to the.
I was going to say, did you forget?
Yeah.
Come
to
on,
the
man.
Coffee and Ham Radios.
Throw your boy a link, brother.
I'm gonna be in there. I'm just gonna be in the background.
Is there enough Florida? Is there enough Florida land to support all of them? Holy Christ!
What are you trying to say, is though? They're healthy guys, but I mean,
no. What I'm saying is, can that state handle having all 4 of them in one?
They're not going to sink Florida.
In one grid square. Can those guys be in one grid square at once?
I don't know, but I really expect Jim to have problems with the 5-0 down there. Just say
and see, Frank
just saying.
Frank threw in $5 for bail money. Won't say for what.
Thank you, Frank.
So
Jim's going to get pulled to the side, and they're like, "What'd you do with that tower?"
Right? Are you transporting that across state lines?
Why in the hell you wearing a yellow T-shirt that says about Shane and wiggling his RF and banana? What the hell? We don't allow that in this county. Boy, get over here. Put on a real man shirt. Put on a K5YVY shirt.
Have you heard of Florida Man? I mean, Jim will fit right in.
Right. Hold on here. I got. You think I'd learn to share faster these days?
Frank, thank you for that super chat.
And Jim, to answer your question about Wawa, they always have coffee. I worked for Wawa. Let me tell you something. We always made sure our coffee was fresh, always. And we never let that hot dog roll too much on that roller.
Mm-hmm.
So what's this now?
Yeah, so this is that deal I was telling you about where if you decided to pay full price for a ticket, and the full price was $26 for this airline ticket.
For the business class ticket.
If you paid the full price, then you would get a gift worth $13. And your gift would either be this leather ice bucket or a bottle of booze.
Oh.
So you take a bottle of booze that costs $2 and slap a $13 sticker on it, right?
Have you seen what they charge for shots?
It was
down at the bar?
free. It was free.
It's not free.
Well, they got it for free.
Well, how much does Tin Cup go for?
And you got to remember, in 1973, the business class seats were bigger than today's first class seats.
Oh,
Right,
absolutely.
yeah.
Wait. Scroll up for a minute. Look at her face on that. She's so happy. Look at her.
That's a
She's
bottle
like-
of Tin Cup.
She's
Look
like,
at the sign behind her. It says nobody's going to shoot Southwest Airlines out of the sky for $13.
you can't say that anymore.
You can't say that anymore. No.
Oh my God.
That was back in the
That's
day.
awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
Vintage stuff is great, man. I love looking at
Oh,
all
it's
the
so much
vintage
fun.
stuff.
There's a
Yeah.
video that I'll play afterwards because if I play it on the air, I'll get a strike. But I'll put it in the chat over in Discord. But I'll show you guys afterwards of one of our most famous commercials from the 70s.
And Jason, I started this earlier, but wanted to call it out. Jason N3YAZ received his prize from a few weeks ago.
Excellent.
Hey, nice.
Good.
Drop a picture in the Discord there, brother.
Yeah, we'd like to
Love
see it.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Boy's in the chat.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
Welcome
Hey,
back,
Dad.
buddy.
David.
David. See, we didn't scare him away.
Thanks for the care package, man.
Oh, yes. I got mine
Yeah.
today. I quickly opened it up.
Some-
I'll be sending him one back. David,
Yep.
very, very thoughtful. Thank
Wait a
you.
minute.
Absolutely. That was awesome.
Very
How the
thoughtful.
heck?
Good guy.
How does heck does it get to Connecticut before it gets to Mississippi from Texas?
Because
Memphis sucks, dude.
same as a 200-foot tower going to be here tomorrow.
Where are you going to put that?
Logistics, son. It's all logistics.
I've seen
Yeah.
it. It ain't gonna fit.
Put it on a truck.
You know, and I know we could talk probably all night about our male horror stories, but I ordered this thing. It's shipped from Seattle, Washington. So it's going to take a little bit anyway, a few years ago. And I'm watching the tracking. And it gets to Memphis, Tennessee. This is the black hole
never
of
leaves.
I remember
USPS
that.
mail.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I get a notification that they're unable to deliver because they had no access to the gate to get through the gate. And I'm like,
What?
the hell y'all at?
Gate.
What?
Got no gate out here in the country, man. I got like some truck frames and couches on the porch, but it ain't gonna stop you from getting in the driveway.
It's called bolt cutters for crying out loud. That's the magic
Yeah.
key.
So I got some friends up at the local PO office, and that's post office, not parole. And
Thanks for the clarification there, Jim.
There
He's
is
got
a
friends there
difference.
too, by the way.
There is a difference.
Yeah.
well, I don't know, Scout. That whole parole thing, they're weird. I'm not. They're not. The people are okay, but their policies, whoever's in charge of that, is stupid.
A little different.
Yeah.
But,
They were
So
HR
anyway-
before there was HR.
yeah. I take a trip to the post office and I'm like, hey man, check this tracking number out. They tell me that they couldn't get in my gate. I ain't got a gate. I ain't even got a cover, under my driveway. There's not even a ditch in my front
It
yard.
washes out. Man, I got to shovel dirt.
Dude, I live on a hill, so it just runs off anyway.
What's in
And
Joe
so-
Brent's water bottle tonight?
So he's doing his research on this, and so come to find out, the darn thing's going back to Seattle.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Okay,
Return to
no,
sender.
wait, not going back to Seattle. It went back to Seattle. They was trying to deliver it to the freaking return to address. They was trying to give it back to the company. So
Oh, wow.
I contact the company. I said, hey, mailman's been trying to get in your fence. And they're like, "Oh, you need to do this and this for returns." I'm like, "I ain't returning. I'm trying to get what I purchased." But yeah, it was. I finally got it, and when I got it, I understood what happened. So they put the shipping label directly on the box, and it somehow the shipping label got pinched into the little lip of the box, and it covered up my home address, and they only showed the return. So their computers or whatever, I guess, thought, "Oh, it goes here."
This is what happens. This is what happens when the new guy who's not being supervised by the training officer does the shipping.
Well, not see, we're past that now. Is though machines do all the sorting. Human interaction is usually just putting it in the box at this point.
Oh,
yeah. And when it gets tossed over in the floor by accident, they just kick it around for a few weeks before somebody says, "Hey, we got an email to check for this." Oh, there it is in the corner.
Yeah, like that box that Steve sent me. He sent me a 6-pack of beer, and only 2 of them were left.
Well, that's different.
No, somebody looked like they punted it across the warehouse.
Well, I sent you a box of cigars, and you only got 2.
Right? I'll have to step away for just a second, guys. It's work related.
All right.
See what happens when you're on call.
Yep.
That's Southwest. Why are you sending stuff about guys arm wrestling?
Yeah, hey, this wasn't approved for you to.
Back in 1977.
Our switchboards lightened up with people asking for a bottle of whiskey with their ticket now.
We need to speak about the social media policy, Shane.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing how when you go for a new job, you want to look, and you start saying, well, depending on the level of job security and other reasons, how deep is someone going to go into your name and to determine if you are a right fit for the company or for the agency?
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I've been telling my kids, you got to be careful. You don't know, you're 17. You get on that. You get on that Snapchat stuff and who, and you get on that TikTok and you get on that Instagram, and just be careful what you're doing, because I don't want to see you or what you posted at 17, 18, and all of a sudden at 25, you got this wonderful opportunity, and now someone's I don't agree with that. I don't agree with, well, I guess it's on an individual basis. We'll just leave it at that. It's on an individual basis, but gotta be careful. Even watching this show, everybody watching this show tonight, you got to be careful.
I was going to say, go look up Jose Monkey.
Who?
Jose Monkey on TikTok.
Okay.
Jose.
He finds people that say, "Hey, Jose, find me."
Oh, yeah, that guy.
They record a 360 video, and he can pinpoint their location just off the video.
I love doing that stuff, too.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. About 15, 20 years ago, do you guys remember Trunk Monkey?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the Trunk Monkey?
Monkey?
I would watch those Trunk Monkeys over and over and over. And when I was applying for one of my jobs kind of up there with stuff, and they asked me, they said, "What was your fascination with the Trunk Monkey?"
The Trunk Monkey and the Badger.
Yes. And I'm like, what do you mean? They said we could. You were watching all this stuff at most repeated. Were you trying to? I said not. See, right away now you're trying. And I said, if this is how it is, then I don't want to work for you. It's called I'm laughing my ass off. It's funny. It's funny. It's no different than you watching from All in the Family to Three's Company to Love Boat, for crying out loud, or whatever, the Brady Bunch. We found something funny, and that's it's funny. Don't overanalyze it. But that Trunk Monkey stuff to me was
Well,
what else can we? What else? All right. So what can we get ourselves in trouble before Shane gets here?
Shane's in trouble, so I'm just waiting to hear about that. He's gonna have the next resignation letter.
Is he sweating right now? You think? You think he's sweating?
Oh yeah,
or
they're
is he
giving him a
trying-
choice right now. Us or social media.
So if you leave now and with your resignation, it's not going to look bad for your next. You know how that speech kind of goes.
That
that
speech. Yeah.
intimidation
Hey.
speech.
I got a friend at Delta. I'll put in a good word. He can transfer up here to
Yeah.
Minneapolis. He'll be set.
No,
Can you imagine them?
they'll
Hey,
send him over
listen.
to Atlanta.
Hey, listen. We got Robert from HR on the other line over here,
Yeah.
and he says, he's been watching. He found out through his kids or his cousin, who happened to be, in a STEM robotics class, and he found this thing called the YouTube about Ham Radio Clubhouse, and then there you were. And there you go. See, it's all about the banana. That's right. The banana will get you in trouble.
Yep.
Ham till it hurts.
That'll get you every time.
Talking about that subject, I'm also in the midst of career change, and so I don't know, man, how it's going to work out. I may be like Steve used to be, traditional AFL, where hey, I'll be a little late, but I'll be there, because it's going to be a little longer drive, but so
yeah,
I think it's going to be a nice change, though.
Better quality of life, better hours.
So
no more on call.
Exactly. I
So,
mean, they didn't.
So
Yeah,
this
mention the
now my curiosity has been touched. Is a completely different career field, Joe Brett, or just
not really, but yeah, at the same time, it's I'm going to be more focused on a task now.
JB for sheriff.
Do what?
A lateral.
No.
Joe Brett, what do you say? I would say it's a lateral move, but lateral, but focused on certain things. We'll just leave it at that.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, as soon as I asked, I'm like, I probably shouldn't be asking this. But...
Yeah, why are you? And why are you going to make me say something that I should not be saying? See, this is what happens.
Well, Joe's my friend, and I was curious. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm the guy who you're not supposed to tell the secret to. Because you know what happened.
Lord, isn't that the truth?
Well,
what HR have to say?
I wasn't HR.
Okay. I'll say this publicly, I guess, because I did make them aware of my hobbies. Because I wanted to get that. I wanted to get that in the clear and make sure that
we're
going to be no problem. So I'm not allowed to speak of them, which I'm not. But my jurisdiction goes from a small outline box to
a big outline box,
a big one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I put two together, and I got 4.
Choose your own adventure.
Yep.
So last time I did
It'll
that,
be
I
a great
5.
opportunity, and I want to congrats, Joe. That's awesome.
Yeah, and my wife's looking at something that, hey, whatever she chooses, that's great. But she was encouraged by some other colleagues to what? Oh, I thought he looked down in his banana or something.
Joe Brett's starting a new AM radio station with his new 200.
Well, he's got the voice.
He does have the voice for it.
He does.
Can we just clarify this? We need to clarify this before the end of this show, because I'm reading the comments. I am not an informant. I am not a canary. I am not a rat.
You're not a Blue Falcon?
No, but I'm the guy, because there is a difference, and I know everyone's kidding and joking, but in all seriousness, if you tell me like so and so got pregnant, but don't let anyone know, it would slip out. Yeah. But if anything of and I'm talking man stuff, serious stuff. Oh, trust me, I got your back. I am no rat, no canary. No. It's the light delicacies of life. Yeah. It's the small stuff. It falls out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, I thought that meant something else.
No. But don't ask Joe, because he can't tell you.
No, I got people.
Just know that it was a good thing.
Close to me that are the same way, where they're a great guy, they mean well, but you don't tell them shit because it just falls out.
Yep, they forget.
My great uncle was famous for that, and this was back many years ago. early ice fishing. My dad's the most serious ice fisherman you'll ever see. Here, let me just show you the picture he sent me this morning. It's 50 degrees out the last few days.
Wait, hold on. Hang on, Shane, wait. I'm sorry. Joe Brett and I show everybody your hat for a minute.
Hang on.
We'll see the patch on the hat.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
you can continue the Can you hear me?
Is that a Northern Pike?
Put the phone down. Put the phone down.
All right, hold on.
All right. Oh, look back down.
Look back down. Too many things now. Look. There's a $20. There's a $20 bill on the floor. Just look at it.
I thought it said embrace the shack.
I did too.
No. Okay, now embiggen him again. Let's see the trout.
Well,
anyway, that's a pike.
It's been let me get to
nice pike, bro.
Yeah. It's been 15 degrees out the last few days. Most people have quit ice fishing. My dad's still out there because he's crazy. So he's a serious ice fisherman.
Dude, I was in there picking my nose. You didn't have to go back to everybody.
It's about timing.
Years ago, in the early ice, he found where the walleyes were biting. He's going to bring my uncle with. He's like, "Now, nobody knows they're biting out here. Don't tell anybody. We're going to catch some fish and be done with it." So they went out there. The very next day, my dad goes out to a secret spot, and there's 3 people there. And he doesn't say anything. He just sits down, drills a hole, and they go, "Oh, you must be Mert's nephew, Dwayne." I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even make 24 hours. He let everybody know where the fishing spot is. So
wow.
Yeah.
I go to my fishing spot and it looks like a damn vacation area.
Yeah.
People everywhere. Umbrellas, coolers.
Somebody clip that.
Music playing.
Oh, Pamela, I need a copy of that patch, please.
Look at Ryan. Ryan did a very good job there in the chat with using the keyboard characters of drawing a fish. See, guys are talented. Guys are talented.
That's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan K5.
I can only draw
nice
phallic looking things.
Yeah. Last time I did something like that, I almost got myself in trouble for doing something for gestures.
And how many of you put something in the calculator and turned it upside down?
I was just going to say this.
Yeah, and we're not talking about Shell Oil either. Shell Oil. Remember that with that Texas Instrument calculator?
Oh, that's cool. What is that?
Oh, cool.
That's the Halibut Electronics.
Nice.
Oh, very good, Steve.
And I actually got one of those stickers with a special note on the back of it when I ordered my Pactena. So
I built another project. I've been doing ham radio shit lately.
Wow.
Recording
you
it?
have been.
Oh, look at you.
Is that a Pi? Is that a Pi?
It's a Pi 4, yeah.
And what are you going to interface with? Now, what are you going to use it for now? What
right now it has a ham clock on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to order probably an STL dongle and do maybe some weather balloon sounding where it will decode and track weather balloons. I don't know. There's something to play with.
I thought
there was a cool app.
That monitor right there has my Pi 4 on the back of it for my ham clock.
Ham clock's really cool. That's a cool thing.
And that's going to be my third monitor over here.
I hate Linux. I'll just tell you that much. That was a little bit interesting getting used to, but
learn it.
Once I got it set up, I mean, the setup was relatively easy because if you go through the Pi uploader or the to burn the SD card,
yep.
Yeah. So it already had my Wi-Fi and everything in there. All I had to do was get this piece of software that Joe made me pay for, so that I could utilize it.
What software did you have to buy?
RV viewer, RU viewer, or some, I don't know.
Was that the stuff that the boys on Monday Night Nuggets was doing maybe about a month ago? They had
Joe told me the wrong one. He said because when I told him, he's like, I said, it's trying to make me pay for it. He was, I ain't paying for nothing. And I said, what you just told me is making me pay for it.
Well, but you know what your first. See, that was your first because he was supposed to steal a 100-foot tower and he stole a 200-foot tower by mistake. So this is what happened. You don't listen to Joe Brett,
right?
Well, he saw the 200-foot and thought this is a way better deal. It's the same amount of work as stealing. You're getting twice as much.
Twice as much, bigger signal. This is how we're going to do things.
Yeah.
Right?
I just want to know who has to climb it when they put it back up.
You.
Well, we're
No,
not
thank you.
after we saw your nuts drop. We're not going to make you put nuts above.
He's going to make sure somebody else puts that up.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know if
that.
I didn't know if you were going to use it for like an all-star node.
Maybe,
all-star,
maybe.
get on all-star.
There was this guy. He has this little YouTube channel called Ham Radio 2.0. And he has a Sherry node that we were going to use this for, and I was going to do all-star that way. I don't know. We'll see. Knowing me, I'll probably do 5 or 6 things with it before I figure out what it's going to do for the majority of its time. It's cool to play with.
Build a Pi Star out of it, which I think that's probably over.
I already have a Pi Star.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a Pi Zero with a MMDV, whatever it is, hat. It's doing Yaesu, Fusion, and DMR. The Widow guy. But I did see, I don't know if Jim's still in here or not, but there is an upgrade to the Pi Zero. My desktop runs a little bit slow when I try to change things in there.
Yeah, I did see that video that Jim did. I need to do that.
Yeah, it was like $20, I think, for that. You don't have to do anything but solder on the pin thingies. Shit, what's it called?
I thought
he had to solder them in because his board was blank.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're already running Pi Star on it, you can just load the new software onto that SD card instead.
Yep.
I just sent the link to Jim if he wants to join us. He wants to. Let's see if he's brave.
Why would you do that?
What? Because you have to listen.
What's done is done. It's
that fool's driving to Florida. He's just watching us on the phone anyway.
Okay. Well, you never know.
Just gut punching him. So.
Nah, actually, he was in that test session with us.
He was, yeah. I think that was his friends.
It was.
Why would you schedule that test session at 5:00? I ain't got time to get home for that.
That was a Jim thing.
Freaking figures.
Real VNC viewer. That's what it was.
Well, Jim only works on what, Mondays and Saturdays, right?
Hey, he said the audio gear's already packed, so we're safe for tonight.
Whew. Thank goodness. Now we get to hear about his new tower all night.
And Caitlin says she was at the session and she did it from the car.
You know, it is awfully funny that Jim is leaving the state
right after we talk about a tower being stolen.
A missing tower from his state.
Things that make you say,
Yep. See, we are the detectives of Clubhouse. So you know, so you know the first thing we say, guilty.
Exactly. So Douglas V Amateur Radio, use VNC for headless pipe. That's what I was using. I was using VNC in order to set that up.
Where did it go?
What's a VNC?
Jason already has his upgrade in the FCC database. Are you kidding me?
How's that for efficiency?
That's faster than mine was. Jeez.
Well, obviously you don't know the right people.
Right?
You tested with the same crew.
I had to wait. Well, it's because they waited for 1,400 signatures for my page. There's so many people that were in there.
It was also the 7 o'clock session for you.
That's true.
Right.
Because that was 5 o'clock their time.
5 o'clock, yeah.
And guys had to go steal a tower.
There you go.
People are busy. People are busy, Shane.
Yeah. So see, Joe Brett, that's why you schedule it at 5 o'clock. So then 3 hours later, you can get your upgrade.
Right. Understand. It's always a reason.
I still haven't had a chance to play down in the extra section of the band. So
you haven't?
I haven't had time, son.
Dude, that's like me when I was a kid getting a big wheel and not riding the big wheel. Why would you not get on that big wheel and just go
because
down that hill?
The first opportunity that I had was down in Galveston, and we were working under the club call.
Okay.
Which you could have used your.
I could have.
Even for
but there wasn't anything
minutes.
down that low on 10 meters.
Oh no, not on 10.
And I had a hell of a pile up because everybody was up between 300 and 400 on 10. But I told KB, I was like, one of these evenings, I need to get either 40. I might be able to get 40 early in the morning or late in the evenings. We'll have a rag chew, or I'll figure out maybe I'm moving to a new apartment at the end of February, and I went and scouted the balcony location. I might be able to put up an 80 in-fed half wave. It would have to be at night, but
now there's
a
a
little
ham
more
talking. There's a ham talking. When you're doing apartment shopping, people are looking for closet space, square footage of the bedroom. Does it have a pantry? Is there a wash machine on the floor? No, we're going to put an antenna.
We're going to put the ham shack and the antenna.
There's not enough counter space. Who cares?
Yep. No, this balcony's good. I could put a beam right out there. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I could put a wire that could go, I couldn't do a loop, but I could put a dipole off that goes, probably 130 feet in each direction.
Put the Azel rotator right off the handrail and chase satellites.
Right. That's something else I want to build, an Azel rotator.
I will send you the link to the one that I found.
Is it the Sark one?
No, but it's like under $100.
Oh, you have my interest there.
So I think I'm going to build one. Use it mostly for the club trailer when we take it out to STEM events. But if I could find a 9700 for a good price, may get.
Well, I mean, you are going to Hamcation.
What do you think I'm looking for?
Right.
You guys are killing me. I want to retire, and I'm trying to figure out how to do all this stuff if I could retire. Is that the answer?
You buy it first before you retire. That way you don't have no bills whenever you retire.
Yeah, but when I buy stuff, sometimes it sits. And I hate when that happens.
I've had that Pi 4 for 8 months, and I just now took it out of the box. So that tells you anything. And I bought it whenever you had to wait on Twitter or whatever. You had to wait for someone to post that they got one in stock, and then everyone ran and got it because they only had 4 of them.
And they'd only sell one at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Because I tried to buy a couple of them.
Oh, I thought something I was going to ask tonight. I know we're talking. I know it's Hamcation right now and everything, but Huntsville. How many of y'all are going to Huntsville this year?
Absolutely. To be determined.
Most likely not, unfortunately.
Attend to. Have reservations.
All right, because I have a campsite reserved, and I'll be down there for sure this year.
You're going? Really?
Oh,
yep.
Nice.
Oh man!
Yep. I've already put the vacation time in.
Oh, you up my ante now. Now you're going to give me the... Oh, my God.
Are you going to Yellowstone?
Who?
You.
No.
So what are you going to do?
You're not meeting all of us in Yellowstone?
This is the first time I heard of it, so no.
Look at Shane's face.
So,
but I'm going to Huntsville.
Which campsite did you get?
Probably 73. The one I wanted.
73.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Is that
70?
Does everybody want 73 campsite? Because
I was surprised that campsite number 73 at the Huntsville Ham Fest wasn't taken yet when I signed up. I was like, I just looked at the map. I didn't even get a chance to see where the pavilion is or anything, or how far I gotta stay away from where
it's a hike.
The Shacking Off brothers are. But
yeah,
you're good.
I don't think a lot of people will really put that much thought into like coolness of the site as much as they do the location of others.
Not knowing where anybody is.
On this,
I was going to say, where's that one in relation to the pavilion?
Okay, I'll give you a ride back on the scooter.
I want a video of that.
No, that shows the OCD / scatterbrain of me where I bring up the park map. I'm like, okay, let's see, where's the pavilion? And I see 73. Hey, that's cool. Perfect. I'll go right there.
And then that one. Yep.
That was all the more effort I went into it. I don't even know where the pavilion is, but it'll be fine.
The pavilion's over by the park office.
Sure.
Or around the corner.
Because I usually get the one on the other side of the pavilion, the other side, where you have to stumble through the trees and then you're on the back patio.
No, you sleep in the trees.
Oh, look.
I'm not one of those guys.
Scout,
but I saw
a good neighbor.
That's true.
What's that?
The Vern is in number 70, so you'll have a
nice.
pretty close
Vern?
neighbor there.
All right.
So Shaq and Greg
Party.
and Norm, where are you guys all flying on the same airlines? Has that been determined yet, or are you guys all?
I'm sorry, I get distracted by the chat.
It happens.
It happened. Okay,
I'm not a live streamer. I don't know.
You want
Why
me
do you
to
think we
do
let
it?
Joe Brett handle it?
You want me to do it in sign language for you because I can get really
Keep the syllables down to 2 and we'll be fine.
Relay.
relay.
No, because I'll end up stuttering. Are you and Shaq and Greg and Norm? Are you guys coming from your region? Are you guys going to be on the same airlines? Are you kind of doing that same thing?
I'm driving down because I'll have my new teardrop camper, so that's why I'm bringing.
nice.
Oh, look at you! Nice.
So I will be. I plan to drive through Indiana to avoid Illinois. No offense to people
It's a
from
good
Illinois,
reason.
but
Yeah. Don't blame you.
But I'm either going to go that route or down through Iowa. I haven't decided, but I'm leaning towards going through Indiana because I haven't hit Indiana yet on Parks on the Air for activations.
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go.
So if I go that route, I can get Indiana and Kentucky and Tennessee on my way to Alabama, so I can get a couple new states.
There you
And
go.
I reached out to a few people, and I have one of those jobs where I can't be gone for a week without the world falling apart, but I can work remote. So part of my plan is I'm going to be taking a few days vacation and then a few days working from a state park where I'll
Don't plan on working for Monsanto.
No. That's already clear.
Wherever you have cell service, in other words,
But either I'm going to
get him Starlink.
Yep. I gotta do the mapping out, but either I'm gonna just beeline it straight down there and have fun at the park, and then mosey my way back up, or vice versa. But either way, on the part where I'm moseying, the days I'm not working, I'm going to try to drive a little bit and take a day off and to do a Parks on the Air and try to meet up with some people along the way.
Nice.
So
Excellent.
we'll figure it out.
So, Scout, I looked, and actually 73 is a good campsite.
Yeah.
Because you're here. The bathhouse is right here, and it's
there you
pretty
go.
much straight walk.
Look at Steve. You are great. Steve
No. Steve, let's be honest. Did you really just sit there and research that from the time that he said that, or did you simply look at Mike's N8YO's comment in the chat?
No, I pulled it up because I was in 50 last year. Jason and Mike were in 49, and I think Ken and Jess were in 51.
I think we usually get 75 and 76.
Or thereabouts.
And then, this year,
Or 74 and 75.
51 and Ken and 51A and Ken and Jess are in 51B. So we've got kind of that whole row is going to be all.
Jason's usually around 53, right?
No, he's right across from the bathhouse, 49.
Oh, okay. I think we had 74, 75, and 76 last time I was down.
All right, so I'm going to...
No, we were on the first row.
If you're in
the cabins,
when
you and I had the cabins.
Yeah,
right.
cabins.
I think we had 74 and 75.
They don't go that high. It's 1 through 9 or 1 through 10.
So the map may be deceiving, but help me out here. Cabins 10, 8, 78 Alpha and Bravo, 77, 30. Is it too loud? I mean, is it too much of a party where you're not going to get, or it doesn't make a difference?
So the A and B sites are what they call buddy sites. You put 2 campers in the one, parking area. It's forked off for each one.
Okay.
And you can fit 2 full-size trailers there. But usually you want to be in there with somebody that you know.
Yeah.
So Shaq and Greg, is that a yes or a no?
No, they get the cabins. They're on the other side, down here where it says park entrance.
Okay.
Yeah, they're out that way.
So they're not allowed. They're not actually allowed to sleep because of what happened in previous years.
I didn't realize that we were so close to the bathhouse, because I bet the bathhouse shower is bigger than the shower in the cabin.
Yeah.
Who has the best hot water is the question.
That's a good question. The cabin probably does.
The cabin does, because it has its own water heater.
Because you can only like whenever when you take a shower in one of their cabins, like you step in and you wash this half of yourself,
right?
and then you turn.
No, you can't turn.
And then
in
you
that
step
thing.
in. No, you step out, turn, step back in, wash the other half of you.
And if you're over 5 foot tall, you make sure you duck.
Oh yeah, because you'll bang your head on the.
So I'm a big guy. So is it?
Yeah, me too.
Is it logistics and timing to get it all wet? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, very much so. I literally one leg was out the shower door,
and then you can just slip in. Shower.
You wash yourself in quarters in those showers.
Yes.
Oh my God, really?
It's the funniest thing ever. I should have took pictures of it. It was hilarious.
I think
of the shower, not me in the shower.
So look, Jim's boasting in the chat about how big the shower is in cabin 14. So Jim and Chuck was supposed to room last year, I think, together.
I thought it was T.O.
Oh, I think
T.O. brought his camper last year.
Jim, get your butt in here. Jim, get your butt. I sent him the link.
He's driving and all of his audio shit's taken down. He can't join us.
He doesn't want anyone to see that big antenna hanging off the trailer behind him.
Right.
So
the big steel whip.
Jim gets there and realizes there's only one bed in cabin 14.
Oh.
And Jim ain't backing down from the cabin, so he calls, his poor roommate and says, "I don't know what you're gonna do, but you ain't staying with me."
So in other words, he got there first, which means he calls dibs.
Yep.
He calls dibs to the only bed.
Those guys have a knack for having reservation problems.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
So he, it was a letdown. This was a downer to the original plans, but cabin 14 happens to be handicap accessible. It's only got one bed, extra space in the cabin, so it's got a shower 3 times bigger than the rest of them, and he just happened to rent it on purpose.
Sorry, but Ed, that's the movie quote that popped into my head. Those aren't pillows.
So Vern says they're renovating the cabins this year before we get there.
Oh wow! I wonder if they're going to put bigger showers in there.
Well,
the cabins are cool. Don't get me wrong.
All right, that needs to be addressed because if you call up there, they can't give you a time that it be completed. So there may be a lot of us cabin dwellers that are asking, you got a sleeping bag I can sleep out here in the dirt on. I don't know.
Or just room. You can just bum with room with Norm.
Well, I'm thinking
out in the ditch.
I'm thinking this. Wouldn't it be funny?
Jim, you're in a green room, buddy.
Oh, I was going to say, if Jim
I didn't know you had a green chair.
I do. You just never see it because it's green.
It's green.
Hey, you know what?
My wife is embarrassed by how it looks, so I got.
You could spray some green chalk on your cat. That would solve your problem. Right?
There you go.
She's here annoying me right now.
See.
All right. So
coloring. Yeah.
All right, Jim. All right. So Jim, this is what we want to know. You walk into a cabin, and here's a scenario. It's a bunk bed. It's you and Chuck. Do you take the bottom, or do you give Chuck the bottom?
I'm on the top.
You're on the top.
Yeah, that way when he falls, he's got something to land on. Not waiting for somebody to land on him.
You fall a lot further from the top bunk, though.
We do have issues. We do have issues with reservations.
Logistics.
That's why Steve bought the camper.
He's like, screw this shit. I'm doing it my own.
Well, see, last year at Huntsville, I was supposed to be in 13, which is what they told me I was going to have. And then I get in there and go to check in, and they said, "You're in cabin 14," and I'm like, 14? Yeah. Isn't that the handicap cabin?
It's handy-capable.
Handy-capable, whatever. And I'm like, there's only one bed in there, right? And they're like, yeah, that's...
Chuck, you're on your own, buddy.
But the shower, but wait a minute. But the shower's big enough, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. The shower is big enough to share with a friend if you wanted to.
Have you been to the other cabins?
Yeah,
with the micro showers.
The first year I went to Huntsville, me and Sparky were in cabin 13.
And
yes, that's T.O. And yes, the showers in the other cabins are tiny.
Wait.
T.O. It's like a water hose. It's like a water hose. It trickles on you.
I mean, T.O.'s skinny and all, but
He's
a tall
tall.
boy.
He's tall,
Yeah.
right?
I
How
think he
bad did
hung
he
off
have
the
to
bed. I don't
fold
know.
himself up?
Oh, that'd be
into that shower?
hilarious.
Oh, not my problem. Don't know. Wasn't there? I was not in the shower when T.O. was.
It's like I had a big shower and one had him in the bed to myself.
That's right.
Not,
That's right.
not my monkey, not my circus.
Exactly right.
Was there another hand? Was there another invention when you guys tried to rent a Airbnb and that screwed up, or was that Kyle that had that problem?
That was Chuck.
Oh, that's Dayton.
Chuck,
Okay, yep.
Chuck did that. Yeah, we
Sorry,
rolled
Chuck.
up. I'm at the Airbnb. I pull up and I'm driving over there and I'm like, this does not seem like an Airbnb neighborhood, you know?
Sure it is.
It seemed
We're trying to say, Jim.
it seemed pretty blue collar, real blue
You
collar.
had to have travel insurance.
Salt,
Working on the cars in the driveway, you know.
salt of the earth. Just say the salt of the earth. That's all.
Salt
There
of
you
the
go.
earth. Salt
There
of
you
the
go.
earth. That's right. The salt of the earth. And I'm like, this just doesn't seem like a neighborhood that would do Airbnbs. So I go to down the road to the house, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it's kind of middle class-ish. It's not what I expect, right? If you're going to Airbnb, I'm figuring you got a McMansion or something that you're renting, right?
No.
And I get to the house, and it looks like the first house me and plaintiff number one used to live in. And I'm like, damn, I wonder where they're all going to sleep, because I can't imagine the bedrooms. I mean, if this is like kids' bunk beds, this is going to be rough. And then I pull in the driveway, and I see a paper on the door. And I'm like, oh, God. What? And I thought, well, maybe it's welcome.
It's your welcome note's what it is.
Right.
Your key is located in the next state.
Dear renter, don't
Except the
mind the
bank.
bullet holes in the siding. It's okay.
It's okay.
And it was.
They went to jail last week.
It was a foreclosure sale notice. Yeah. And I'm like, well, shit. We're not. Where the hell are we? Because this is like, what day was that? Wednesday, I guess, before Hamvention started. So I wasn't even sure we'd even find a place to stay. And we did. It worked out fine. But, yeah.
Well, shit. If I see that sign, I'm not paying anybody. I'll stay there. I mean,
Yeah.
Was Ape with you at the time? Because I imagine him walking in, smiling, and going, "Squatters' rights. I'm taking over."
So he, no, he wasn't there yet. T.O., that was the infamous Hayden beep video.
Yep.
Because T.O. rolls up. He was like maybe 10 minutes behind me, and he rolls up, and he's got Hayden with him. Only I didn't know who it was, and I see the door open on the passenger side. Exactly. And I'm like, damn, Steve, your wife is ugly as shit.
And she got a beard.
and she's an Aussie.
she's talking funny.
And she talks funny. And it was, y'all gonna make me crack up.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine them pulling up? Can you imagine them pulling up and the neighbor? She's out there. The neighbor's out there in her curlers, and she's got that Marlboro bopping. She's yelling at the kids,
goodness.
"Get your ass inside!" And you guys are gonna be like,
I was trying to find a picture of the bathroom of the cabins, but there's nothing online about
Shane
it.
is right. The cabin bathrooms, except cabin 14.
It's about a 30, maybe 25 by 25
inches.
The bathroom is tiny.
They're manageable. You know, they're all right, but you do need to be mindful of any quick movements, or you don't want to fling your elbow around.
And if you're staying in the cabin with your significant extra, y'all ain't gonna get freaky in the shower. Not without you'll have brain damage from hitting the wall.
No, it's a one-person shower.
You'll end up with a rock scar on your forehead.
Exactly.
That's what cabin 88. That's cabin 88.
Yeah. And a few other. You got to get stitches if you try to get funky in the shower.
Right. But now,
there's a lot of sharp edges in those cabins.
So cabin 14 is that, since it's the handicap accessible cabin, which depends on your definition of accessible, I guess, for that. You need to have good brakes on any wheeled access devices.
Why is it on an angle? It's on an angle. Is it really?
Yeah. You needed one of the.
It's downhill.
Yeah.
It's downhill.
Wow.
Not a big hill, but it's downhill. Yeah, absolutely.
I need
And,
an off-road wheelchair to get there.
So Mike in Atwayo makes a good point. He said either the cabin shrunk or Americans got bigger in the 90 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's because all this fast food is putting cheese on everything. This is what happens when you start putting cheese on everything.
Yeah, it's not the cheese; it's the sugar.
The sugar,
right?
All right, well, I'm obligated now.
What's up?
Right.
So when we went down to Texas, our first stop was Circle 6, and then we would stay overnight with the accommodations of the Six's camper. So
I've seen pictures of that thing.
you
It's
put
Chateau
about-
Day 6.
So you drive through Dallas to get to Circle 6, and you don't even stop to see your boy Shane.
No, I do not go that way. I come down through Louisiana,
Sad.
and I drove to freaking Texas. He could have came and saw me. He didn't have no problem going to see Jason and Mike and them playing poker the other day. Well, I don't want to hear shit.
He tried.
Your Honor,
got down there, hung out, went back home. No
Your
sweat.
Your Honor, my client has a point here because he drove all the way from his location to Galveston.
Yeah.
Well, no, he didn't drive. He took the company jet.
I took the company jet.
All right. Ham Court. We're all in Ham Court here right
I
now.
used 6 tanks of gasoline and a big SUV, and he bought a ticket. I mean, he probably didn't even buy that.
No, I didn't buy a ticket.
Yeah,
I just walked on the airplane, got a free seat.
Anyway,
he showed his ID.
At the shower.
Yeah, exactly.
So short and sweet, the shower in his camper is about 3.5, maybe 4 if you're creative enough with playing Tetris back in the day, for the size of his shower of the cabin shower. So,
It sounds like it's bigger than my teardrop that I'm getting. That thing's only 5x8.
God
You
dang,
ain't
I
got a
looked down
shower.
there. I thought that
You got
was
a shower in that teardrop.
K8MRD.
I got a shower on the outside of it, actually.
Sitting on the porch smoking.
You got a nature shower with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got the off-road shower on it.
That's cool.
Like
those teardrop campers are really cool.
Yep. It's funny because I was looking into those years ago, and I was just getting ready to place my order, and I picked out what brand I'm going to, a lot of stuff. I'm going through all the things. I got the thing in the shopping cart, and build lead times were 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. I'm trying to time it so it'll be built over the winter time, so I could, I don't want to place the order in May and get it in October and not be able to use it. So
that's Kyle's.
That's Kyle's.
Yeah.
So I was waiting until
that's not a teardrop.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
not
care
what
what
I was
anybody
just trying to
says.
tell you.
So I was waiting to time it right, and I was going
That's a Taj Mahal.
and I was going to time it so it'd be like midwinter start build, and it'll be ready by end of May. Then I don't have to worry about salt or anything. And then that's when that COVID thing came about. And all of a sudden, the lead time went from 6 months to 9 months to 12 months to 18 months. I'm like, screw that. So I finally got it ordered, or I waited until things got done. Fortunately, I was smart. And I started saving what I was going to make for payments. So I got that set aside. Mm-hmm. And then this fall, I was going to do the same thing. All right. Lead times are back down to about 6 or 7 months. I'll place the order in September. I'll be set to go. Filled everything out, did the little online thing. I didn't hit the save button, but I thought I did. And then in December, I called up the guy going, I haven't got my confirmation thing on my order. And he's like, what order? I'm like, son of a bitch, So I got in there.
Shit.
And when I got in there, they said it'll be ready in June. So I'm like, all right, that's what happens. Yesterday, I got an email from him saying, hey, Shane, thanks for your order. We've had some scheduling switches in our build schedule. I'm like, oh, great. Now it's going to be out until October. Would you mind if we have it done by March? I'm like,
okay.
That's like the second stupidest thing I was ever asked in my life. Yes.
Would you mind if it was 3 months?
The first one was, do you want a refill?
Yeah, about right.
The answer's always yes for that.
Yeah.
To go, please.
Now, Steve, didn't you rent a camper at Huntsville?
I did. I rented a camper this past year.
How did that work out?
No, it's not.
Because I thought it might be a good idea. I don't know.
It wasn't bad. The extra fees on it were kind of crazy, you know, because you had to get the insurance, even though I wasn't towing the stupid thing. The guy set it up for me. And then he came and picked it up. Of course, he didn't pick it up till late. Luckily, the folks there at Monsanto were cool about it.
We are cool in Alabama, yes.
And they didn't have anybody else renting that spot the next day. So,
yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, we looked into that.
How much did that cost, if you don't mind me asking?
About the same as a cabin.
Yeah, it's about the same as a cabin.
It's just not a big difference. Yeah.
I was gonna weigh out the pricing of, you know, which one do you go with?
The cabin's
it kind of depends on
a night, I think. Is that right?
It went up from last time.
140, whatever. So,
I mean, somewhere around there. Yeah, I think it's 140 this time around.
Jim, I'll send you a screenshot of my receipt in Discord later.
Yeah, that's. I was curious about that. I don't know. I'm in 14 again this year, and I rented that early to make sure I got that cabin.
Well, I'm pulling a camper out this year coming. Friend of mine's loaning me their camper.
Nice.
So it's a A-frame pop-up, so hard sides. So that should be pretty nice. 2 almost queen-size beds.
Well, all I know is
the Mexican jumping beans already claimed one.
T.O. did not complain about y'all making a lot of noise down there at the campsite. So I thought, well, that might be a nice, quiet place to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
What's the weather like is it hot, like humidity 100% night? I mean,
No, Huntsville's a hell of a lot higher than, I'm in Montgomery County. So I'm 180 miles south of Huntsville. And we're in a river valley about 220 feet above sea level. And Huntsville's like 600 or 800 feet ASL. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's going to be mid 80s. But on the mountain, it's not bad humidity at all in Huntsville, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's warm. It's Alabama, but it's not like 95 and 95.
It's always been nice.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
And
there's so many trees, too.
I think you're like 1,600 feet or something up there.
Yep, that's right.
It's kind of chilly in the morning.
Yeah. Take a morning walk with your hot coffee and brisk little breeze or whatever.
That's what I did every morning. I'd sit out on the porch.
Try not to step on Norm.
Yeah.
You didn't know whose porch he was sleeping on.
Unfortunately, the cabin's in a better neighborhood than where Norm was. So, and then cabin 14 is down there by the Rangers' house.
Mm.
Oh,
so,
I usually like when we're there talking about the mornings and the coolness. I like getting me a hot cup of coffee and then just walking some of the little trails between the cabins and the road. Because usually almost every time you're like walking with the deer and the wildlife. Yep. But I'm going to tell you, last year I was kind of like, oh God, this is it. I don't know what to do.
And find a bear?
No, they don't have, no. This thing was like just above my head level, just maybe 6 feet in the tree.
We have big cats.
This is a big old hoot owl just sitting there staring at me.
Yeah, we have those.
And I'm like, I think
it's either what have you.
I think in the movies you're not supposed to look at them in the eyes or something, but like we were locked in, man.
Did he orb up at you? If they
I was walking,
you're about to die.
I was walking circles around it, and I was like, it's just like the gimbal that's on those creatures' heads is amazing.
Yes, it's like The Exorcist. That's right.
Oh yeah.
I thought for a minute he was describing Shaq and Greg just being all sneaky and everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, and the deer are not afraid of you.
No, they're awesome.
I think you could take one out with a Bowie knife.
Do you guys feel that you kind of own the place?
Arm wrestle one.
Are you guys, based upon where everyone is,
yes.
you guys think you're kind of owning? Good. That's nice.
Yes. Yeah, it's Ham Mountain. It's Ham
we
Mountain.
totally
Ham Mountain. Good.
That's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
So every time I call to request that, they're like, are you with that ham radio group?
Yeah.
Yes,
so I had a call about my reservation because I noticed way after the fact, just happened to look at my email that they send you when you reserve, that it showed a $0 amount of your deposit has been applied to your total. I'm like, wait a minute now. I done gave these folks cash last year for this, as we was checking out. And I'm like, how?
You gave them cash?
Yeah.
Cash
folding money.
Right. And I was hoping for the bro deal, but whatever. And so
Pop's your buddy, man.
And lady picks up the phone. And I said, yeah. I said, my email shows that I've got no deposit applied, showing. Every other year it's always showed what I paid. And she's like, and she, you can tell she's like staring at the screen, not saying nothing. I'm like, look, I said, I reserved a cabin for a week. You require one night of your first night stay to be paid for your deposit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think y'all would have let me make a week reservation. I said, and she's like, well, when was your reservation? And when did you check out last year? I said, I'm part of the ham radio screw dads that you have to deal with every August, third weekend. I said, I don't remember the exact date, but she's like,
Joe,
yeah, we found it. Here it is.
Oh, I was gonna say, you didn't hear? They're putting up.
It was under her. It was in her desk.
No, they got a 200-foot tower going up now. Up the mountain.
With an APRS beacon on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what she did? She opened up her. You know what
She's
the money went
sweet.
right here. The money went right here in the chest. It's probably
right to her heart.
It was actually a guy that we paid when we was checking out last year. So I said, I don't know the dude's name either. I
think he was new.
Yeah,
he may have been.
But he was nice.
She called. I heard her, call another lady over and said, he said he paid cash. And I was like, please don't make this a big deal, dude. Because like, I'm at the point right now, is like, I'll cancel and then still come up there and find a way to get my deposit back. But
I'm sure you got a tower later around here somewhere.
Yeah,
they ever figure out?
They do it, that smaller pavilion, that white one. Yeah, it's nice. And they ain't got no antennas on it.
Did they ever figure out the situation with that park or that part-time guy who was?
Yeah, that was handled.
The front gate.
That was handled.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on vacation that week.
He's on vacation that week. They told him to take a week off.
He's off the schedule.
Rearrange the schedule in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but they've been absolute wonderful staff in general at that park for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they are amazing people. So,
well, you guys want to put a bow on this thing? Yep. Yeah, you want to put a bow on this thing?
Yep.
Jim left. He's back.
Bring him back.
Welcome back, Jim. Jim, we're about to say our greetings and salutations, so we'll start with Joe Brett and work our way back to myself.
Greetings and salutations. Love y'all.
Right.
Thanks for coming another Tuesday. K5YVY, end of transmission.
Over.
You got to specify that.
Yeah.
Scout?
Well, thanks for having me on, folks. It was a good time
Thanks
as
for
always.
with us.
Yeah, it was great. Looking forward to Huntsville, and there's a few other ham get-togethers I'm going to try to attend. But yeah, Huntsville's, like I said, I already got the vacation time booked. I'm planning my route, and I got my site reserved. It's going to be a blast. So
it will be that.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed. Jim? What time am I supposed to show up for y'all's broadcast on Saturday? 9 o'clock?
9 Central, 8 10. It's 10 Eastern. You're in Central time, so
I'm in God's time zone.
You probably want to get in there about 8:45. Just
I normally do.
Because
I'm in there panicking, sending messages.
Right?
Because I'm in there sending messages. It's 5 minutes still going, hey y'all want to come in here and make sure you can at least hear you?
Right. Yeah, we're gonna try and do a live show. I don't expect Joe Brett to be on it because,
oh, buddy, you don't know what we've got planned. You're gonna be lucky if y'all are on your own show.
Abe was a little concerned. Joe Brett has a way to get into our StreamYard. That son of a!
I need to make a custom intro for you guys.
Hey Jim, I just want to thank you for trusting the Clubhouse boys with the key. It's going to be the Clubhouse takeover, so thank you. It's
going to rebrand that whole damn show.
Make sure we do stream that.
Yes,
Shane,
absolutely.
All of a sudden, Nick changed the password. The next Tuesday night, all of a sudden, we're playing this weird thank you, stuff.
Well, Shane has access to the Coffee at Ham Radio account. That's not the admin account.
Does he have access? Does he have access to when people give a donation and the lady stands up with the pocketbook and claps her hands? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, he'll see all that.
All right,
mm-hmm.
I may have to give some money.
Yeah.
Yes, Ryan, you're absolutely right. The first Saturday,
I'm going to be the silent. I'm going to be the silent person in the control room, just making sure everybody looks good.
No, you're not going to have to be silent because you're going to have
Quirky's
to tell
just
us.
catching.
It's really hard to hear
Oh,
because you got and people see you holding the camera and talking, and then they
they
walk
want to come
up and
talk to you.
I'm like, hey,
Hey, man, you got to shoot
Billy
your
Bob.
shot whenever you can. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. My first experience watching these professional ham tubers, not talking about Jim, but the rest of them
Oh, hell no.
are. I'm
I do
talking.
have a gimbal, so I'm just saying.
These guys are breaking a
None of
sweat.
this.
They're running back and forth from like vendor to vendor, trying to get videos together to share with y'all. And I was sitting there looking like, man, these guys are working.
Oh yeah.
That's
I don't
why I
know
don't get
that we-
paid.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I get paid once every 6 months from YouTube.
Right.
Chuck and I just wandered around talking to random people and looking at tables. At least that's what I did. And I think Chuck was talking to somebody about solar or something. And
Hey,
I don't remember
Jim,
who Steve was talking to.
I will give Coffee and Ham Radio's absolute credit where it's deserved. I think it was 2 years ago. I was waiting on Noel to get done, getting ready, sitting in the cabin. Everybody else is already at the Ham Fest. I'm watching Coffee and Ham Radios on my phone live. They're walking around. When I got there, I said, dude, I'll talk to you later. I know exactly where I got to go. I went straight to the table and went and loaded up that Ameritron because I seen it on Coffee and Ham Radio. I'm like, my dude.
I did not know that. The first
Yeah.
time I met Joe Brett, he was sweating like a hoe in church.
Yeah,
Because he's been huffing that Ameritron
He
around.
just pumped that thing out to the car.
And I was stopping completely random people. I'm like, do you have you got a dolly? Anybody got a dolly? Please, you know, anything
for a
with
little while.
wheels, please. Nobody had anything with wheels.
You
All you
haven't
gotta do
learned
is-
to bring one with you?
I have one now.
There
No,
you
you
go.
gotta just push somebody
Just,
off of
you
one
know,
of them
that's the
jazzies
fact.
and just wheel it out to your car and bring it back to
I
them.
was saying,
Give me that scooter.
Let me that scooter.
borrow that
Let me
scooter
borrow
for a
the
minute.
scooter. $20.
I don't know that I would
I
hold
bought
that.
I bought an amp at Huntsville last year. I bought that an Ameritron like Joe did, but the dude I bought it from had a dolly, and he said, "You want to use the dolly?" Yes, I
Yes,
do.
sir.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I do.
Without
Dumb
a
question.
doubt.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to be live, and all you guys on Coffee on whatever this show is, Ham Radio.
Yeah, Ham Radio Clubhouse.
That's right. Y'all make sure and show up Saturday morning because it'll probably be about as much hijinks as we have on this. So, and we're going to show radio stuff on our show.
We've talked more about radio tonight than we have in the last 2
You
well,
have.
no.
I have been.
We talked a lot radio the last month.
Yeah, whole month.
Yeah.
I'm glad you stopped yourself when you said it in the last 2 weeks because you probably thought you had wait. The last 2 weeks we did talk a lot of radio.
There was a
Ah, yeah.
lot of
We
radio
had Big
last
Boy
week.
on, KB on.
Yeah.
It took us 149 and 150 shows to do it, but
Right.
We had to warm ourselves up. You know,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
That's right.
we kind of work gradually around here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I did want to say one thing. Get the Pi 02W from Chicago Electrical Distributors or something like that. It's like $15.
Oh,
And it's a 1-to-1 replacement for the Pi Zero. You'll have to
Okay.
solder the header pins on, but that's it. And I think it
That's
comes
easy.
with header pins.
Chicago Electric. So I can't just go to the Harbor Freight.
No, son.
No.
So it's a
No,
different Chicago Electric.
And
Radio-
I think
Radio
Sparkfun
Shack?
probably has them, and anybody that sells pies has them now. They're in stock all over the place.
Amazon should have them.
You're probably going to pay more on Amazon. I don't know. They're $15 from Chicago Electronics. So $15 and $5 shipping for a half-ounce dingus in an envelope.
Yes.
And it's
But yeah,
the 2W, right?
Yes, the 02W. It is an awesome upgrade over a
They're
Pi
wanting
Zero.
26 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Guys are saying that Mauser has them too.
Yeah, Mauser. Anybody, Sparkfun, Mauser, Newark, is that one? And then Adafruit should have them.
You can get a whole kit for $39.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot of extras to it, though.
You can also, if you're interested, you can also get, and I don't think I got it at Amazon. I think I got it from Adafruit, but they make an add-on board that will slide into the Pi 02W's connectors. So it gives you a board with a full set of 4 USB ports,
Mm-hmm.
an Ethernet port, and a full-size HDMI. And it was like $6 or $8. So a 02W runs as fast as a 3B.
Okay.
And it'll be way cheaper than buying a 3B if you could even find one.
Yeah, it's 15, but it doesn't say anything about header pins on it. So
Isla, you making any sense of that alphabet soup, or you lost as me?
I was worried. I actually almost ran out of cigars, and here I am trying to guess.
We're making pies over here. What they baking?
I did a video. I've done a video on
Chicago style is a deep dish.
I love deep dish pizza, man.
Radio Shack doesn't have this stuff anymore.
You're so
find
old.
a Radio Shack,
right? All right, Steve.
You're not even as old as I am, and you're older than me.
We can't go in the Radio Shack and get them and get some batteries. The guy who wants to sell you batteries and get
the battery of the month club.
Battery of the month. Oh, and do you want a warranty with that pie too?
That's your phone number.
Yeah. Hamcation this weekend. Like I said, hope to get the antenna up tomorrow. If I can either A, sneak out of work early, or B, I don't get in too much trouble with the XYL.
I'll write you.
Don't worry. We got you covered.
You can get 12-pin and 16-pin headers for $1.25.
Nice.
Yeah, you're going to break them off. You don't need all that many.
But Shane,
a couple on one side, a couple on the other.
Problem with the kit from Amazon is those power bricks are generally noisy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm on Chicago Electronics.
Okay.
That's where I bought my Pi 4.
Yep. So, but yeah, I'll be down in Orlando. I might, if the Coffee and Ham Radio boys will let me, I'll jump on their stream as well.
Sure.
Not up to you. Oh, you'll be in Orlando. I was going to say,
I was about to say, just tackle one of them. You'll see them walking around with a camera sticking out of their face.
Really?
So,
you can spot TO from anywhere.
From a mile away.
Well, I'm definitely going to get video of his camper setup at Orlando.
He ain't got the camper with him.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That's the point.
Yeah, he's kind of white trashing it this week.
Yeah. You think?
You're roughing it.
So, but it'll be a good time. And I'm taking a 10x10 pop-up with me and chairs. Ken and Jess are going to host us this year as kind of the hangout spot. Same general area we were last year out in the campers. So if you can't find us walking around the show, walk out to the back corner of the lot. And
just listen. They'll be the loudest assholes out there.
Absolutely.
There may be some alcohol passed around.
Maybe that.
So
we'll just look for Steve laying in the road.
Which Steve?
The one I'm looking at right now.
That has not happened yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still leaving that open, you know.
And see, I'm worried because I'm responsible for Chuck this time around. He's going to be riding with me, him and Ape both. Lord.
Now, are you guys at Point Orlando, or are you at International?
We're at International.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm picking up Charles tomorrow evening at 5:30 at the airport, and then I'll grab. I mean, we're sharing a room. I don't know why I did that, and yeah, I know, right? Like,
didn't we talk about this 20 minutes ago?
As I'm sharing with Kyle, so it's okay.
Do we need a GoFundMe to hire a booking agent for Coffee and Ham Radio?
For Coffee and Ham Radio?
No,
y'all need an agent.
No, see, I booked my room, and then Chuck said something in Discord about, can I share a room with you? And I said, yes, just right away. And I was like, why? Right? Right?
Did we learn from Huntsville?
I was about to say, didn't you learn last time?
Have you not got a hint yet, man?
So I'm stuck with Chuck.
He likes him.
I'm stuck with Chuck, and then Ape is like, I ain't sharing a room with nobody. I got to walk around in my drawers. I'm going to be pounding Miller Lights and having a suitcase popped wide open on the other bed.
See, this whole thing with Jim just preferring to stay somewhere by himself makes me think that He's the type of guy you wake up in the morning, you're like, dude, why do you have your leg thrown across me? You know, I'm like,
Yep. Yep.
Just to be clear, it's a room with two beds,
oh,
So
Two
you think.
queens.
Well, so you
two
think
queens.
until you get down there.
Well, if that happens, Chuck's not on the
Yeah.
street.
We're
And
going to give you
that's-
the handicap room.
That's right.
And Jim,
And now you see
hotel's
the
not
logic
bad.
of me getting a teardrop. It's like, I love you bulk up, buddy, but there's no room. Here, I got a
Yeah.
sleeping bag.
Yep.
the hotel's not bad, but
Yep.
make sure you have your travel insurance with you,
Son, always.
Okay.
Always.
Yep.
because International Boulevard is not a great place at night.
Oh,
I
fun.
drive. Yeah, a
And
nickname is
Florida
I
has
drive.
reciprocity with Alabama, so I'm covered no matter what.
Yep. Izzo, what you got?
Gonna try to get out and do POTA tomorrow. I got the day off. It's gonna be 46 degrees, I think, up here in Connecticut, sunshine. So, gonna get out. I'm sorry.
His legs ain't that long. He
Oh,
sleepwalks.
he
He
decided to
sleepwalks a
snuggle.
little bit.
I didn't mean
James-
to distract you.
Forgot what bed he was in.
James knows how to stop me in my tracks right there.
Those
There's a
are
big-
James, you
James-
missed the show and tell on the t-shirts. I saw that pop up earlier. We had a full-fledged half-hour discussion on it.
Mhm.
We have,
Guys,
we
go
have, we have
Go
an
to James'
army
website.
of Shane's bananas.
And guys, let's not forget the Quirky Clubhouse discount is still running, right? I think it is. So I
Mhm.
guess
Yep. It's in
And if it's-
perpetuity.
it's in perpetuity. So there you go. Get yourself a T-shirt. There you go. Thank you, Steve, for putting that up. Again, for those of you who like me, who like Toby Keith, again, rest in peace, my friend, and keep on playing the music. I know we're going to keep on playing it down here between the music and the videos, and we'll always be remembering the legacy of Mr. Toby Keith. So that's all I got, and all I can say is, you guys really got to get me. I think if I have to do one of the big three, I think I want to do it. Yeah, I think I want to go to Alabama. I think I want to go to Huntsville first.
You want to go to Huntsville, Izzo.
Yeah, Huntsville's a good
Yeah.
time.
That's so. Again, this is going to be one of those things of how do I get a kid up to? Because in the following year I'm going to have 2 kids going, so we're going to have to figure some out. And
Jim's got a spare bed.
No.
I was just going to say. I was just going to say.
Oh, it's still up.
Go get your shirt.
I was just going to say to Jim, if I beat Chuck's phone call, will you take? Oh, there you go. Who do you want to bunk with? You want to bunk with me, or do you want to bunk with Chuck?
I
I'm
hope
in-
someone
I'm in a-
has
Which
one of
old
these
man?
t-shirts on it
I'm in
at
a single
Hamcation.
cabin. I'm in a single cabin.
Which old man do you want to? Because just remember, I get up at 3:00 in the morning to go
Not you.
go to the bathroom.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
goodness.
so do I. So do I. So,
Well,
There's only one bathroom in there.
I mean, if it was an emergency, you could
Right.
sleep on the tiny couch, but I get
There
to
you
bed
go.
we'll figure it out.
on the porch.
I don't know. We'll figure.
So
All right.
it out.
Well, guys,
Norm
we're
also
2
has a
hours
spot.
and 25 minutes in.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I don't have anything coming up. I've got some radios that the manufacturers asked me not to release a video yet because they're all going on Chinese New Year and they're not going to fill any orders. So we're going to hold off on that. But
Or it's pre-broke from the factory.
yeah, the first one pre-broke from the factory. But I will say though, I was playing on. There's a group called North Texas GMRS, and they've got a bunch of linked repeaters that go out into West Texas, and my little faux thing that I got for listening to aircraft radio, I dialed up the GMRS and they said I was full quieting, and I got the other GMRS radio that was from Bofang. They're like, you just barely in the middle of the bacon frying. So the faux thing does well on GMRS as well as sounds really good on AM.
Nice.
So
We're going to need to see that purity of those signals.
Yeah,
Yep.
I want Abe.
Well,
I want Abe. I want
the new
I
one's
want Abe.
coming.
Right. I want Abe to put it on that VNAO and let's see what
I
it
got
does.
one, man.
Send
I
it-
got one
Send it to me. I'll put it on a real VNA.
on a scazope.
On a real one, yeah.
One of those spectrum analyzers.
I know the faux thing's way off. Way off. That's
Send
why
it.
I bought it, to listen to AM.
But it still puts
Aircraft.
out 10 watts.
It does.
Oh, wow.
Across 10 frequencies at one
several
time.
frequencies. So
Very efficient.
Which
cool
frequency
radio.
did you hear me on?
yeah. At least it's full quieting into the into the repeater, so
All of
I
at
heard
least that harmonic made it in.
Dude, I heard you call in on 800 megahertz the other night, and you never would respond to me. Like you couldn't hear me. Oh, I was
It's like
on
you
2
couldn't hear me or
meters.
something. Yeah. Yeah. I was crazy. All right. Well, that's all I got. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.
Play
Have a
it
good night.
outro.
Bye.
Bye.